everybody to the Overwatch Oasis Tier 1 Tournament, Week 3. Today we got a killer of a match coming up here between Silver Surfers versus Konami Code, a rivalry that's technically as old as time here on the Oasis server. I'll be your play-by-play commentator here, Tempo, alongside... Oh, okay. So it's like you got a bit of like an eternal rivalry then when it comes to players. All right. So starting off here, because I do remember some of these old heads of silver servers. However, I'm gonna allow Jaltic here to talk about some silver servers here and some of the players. So Jaltic, take it away. Yeah, Swap Beast he's like such a legend on that McCree role. So yeah, that's gonna be definitely a huge threat when like you said when Chaotic comes in. I just want to come in here quickly and also say that as you might have noticed, ladies and gentlemen, that the names of a lot of these players are different. So just if people don't know, there was a crossplay update that messed up a lot of the names here. So. For example, Swatty is Swap Beast, and Corin is Korea Wannabe, Egg is Nano Boost. Yeah, I almost messed it up again there, Joltic. I almost did Pop-Tart. Yes. Alright. And it's been quite chaotic, as you can see there at the bottom left there. We also had to have a chat with the players. Now you can see the players respectively talk to each other. They drink nice tea and crumpets. Oh, yeah, we gotta pull up those low tier gods, and then ban them. All right, so wait, never mind. Oh, I almost said we got it ready. Right, it seems like we'll inactive immediately. Konami Code gonna be making us wait a bit longer. However, this does give me the chance to talk about Konami Code here. Konami Code, being the blank assassins for the past season, is now coming in with a brand new name. Gonna be, a team that I would say is one of the best teams here in our Tier 1 season so far. They've shown up quite significantly when it comes to the matches they've played and how, with the dominance they've put on forth. A lot of players here, like iRuck, really well-known player on the DPS, but now playing a lot of tank here on Konami Code. Known for more for his Winston play, and also players like Infinite, who was well known for the noobs last season, also now on this Konami Code roster. Legends like Foss, definitely pieces to look out for if you're watching this game. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we got our readies from both sides. We are going in. The first map here going to be Legion Tower. And I don't know about you, Joltic, but this might be a pretty good map for Silver Surfers if we start our control center.
Initiating match.
Oh, if it's not control system, like for example, in Darwin's Garden, I'm expecting to see the dive. Irock likes to play a lot of that Winston, you know. Oh, yeah, yep, pause check. Classic one too. And Foss loves the D.Va. It's definitely one of his best heroes. So I would imagine to see them about to dive, maybe Infinite on the Genji, like one of his bread and butter picks. For Silver Surfers, however, I don't know, honestly. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised seeing Swappies on the McCree, but like, oh, there he is on the McCree. But I'm expecting to see something a bit interesting coming out from them, which it seems like we are right now. Joltik, looking like they're gonna be on a brawl. Yeah, most definitely. Especially, and it's looking like that might probably gonna be Silver Servers here in the first round because they do have that symmetric teleport. They go straight to the point, teleporter up, and then they go. Silver Servers, if you have that early point control right now, Code gonna be waiting now, waiting for a chance to dive in right now. Nade already used by Son, so that's not gonna be in his arsenal right now. Foss taking a lot of damage, but it's gonna pay off. Infinite gonna find Polish. The D-Mech does come in. Thou gonna find that primary fire spit down main. However, the split is massive. Ruck getting a bit too eager. He's gonna go right into the flashbang. Swappies ready for that one. Konami down there, down 2 tanks now, but Infinite is still kicking. Finds the focus beam and fights SWAT. The teleport is still up forever. Yeah, but I don't know, Joltik. That teleporter is still up right now, and I think that's gonna definitely solidify the quick control there for Silver Surfers. Oh, that sleep dart. Oh my god. It's that. Sorry, go on. Yeah, you got it. We'll see if they do make the mistake again. Doesn't seem like they are. They're gonna be going right side here. Infinite almost had that duplicate ready to go. Buckbreaker. Gonna get the pulse and almost get Korean wannabe, but he doesn't. Oh, that indeed. Joltik, that very nice boot coming up from Thal there. Infinite. High noon. He goes up duplicate, but he gets pinned from downtown. Reinhardt trying to get taking one to his team, but it will not be in his favor. Irock, the primal rage, he will go down a bit, but it's looking like it's going to do enough there. Eskimo, it is. It might be enough. It might be enough. Joltik, Eskimo fighting 2 right now. Irock. Oh, Irock makes it back just in time. Gets the punch, the 1-2 punch onto Eskimo. However, the bubble, it's still up. Swappies cannot find the high noon he is looking for right now. Buckbreaker, trying to, now on the McCree, off the Tracer, trying to find some value in this off angle right now. However, the Silver Servers are still holding control. The cancel the shatter. Yeah, oh, it's so, that was so nasty, Joltik. That cancel shatter was. Yeah, I mean, I could imagine also if they even want to, they could commit that nano boost maybe on like Eskimo or a SWAT to build up like a fast high noon or grab again for the next team fight. Ryan gonna be pushing up right now onto Foss. However, he has to worry about Iron. He does. He fits the pin. Absolutely massive pin coming in from the Silver Servers Reinhardt here. The nail boost being committed onto him. But Buckbreaker, he fights 3. He's turning this fight back around for Konami Code. This is a bit interesting. Eskimo going over to the Roadhog. Now, Joltik, I have many hard feelings about Roadhog, but what do you feel about this swap? my god! That was nasty sleep there coming in from Korea. He's been on fire right now on this Ana. However, another player has been on fire is Buckbreaker. He's gonna fight Eskimo. A lot of that damage now gone with Swampy's falling and looking like Konami Code. They're gonna hold this one pretty solidly here. That is start right there. Eskimo finding the pick on Sans. Swat gonna come in with the high noon with the beat layered onto him. Gonna find Buck, but so little bodies on the point with Silver Surfers. Konami just might bring this back. The shadow is large, but no one's on point. Konami Code gonna take the first point here on that one.
Score 0-1.
And I think, and I gotta say, this is looking like a clean start for both these sides so far, Joltik. Like you said, very hard fought on both sides. And I'm wondering what Konami Code are planning on doing now. That seems like they're gonna be mirroring the Rush also.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 2.
I mean, that is their bread and butter, so most definitely. Okay, teleporters gonna be on both sides, ready to go, and it looking like they're both at the same time. That's a game's done quick right there for those teleporters. However, the turret placement gonna be going in favor of Silver Surfers. Buttbreaker gonna get smelted into smithereens right now. It's a 5-5 fight right now. Boss has some charge. It is a massive purple, but can they capitalize on it? I don't think so. iRock is just swinging away right now. And Konami Code, they're gonna get first cap, it seems here. Most certainly dead, and because of that, this area point control is gonna be so hard for Silver Surfers to get in here right now. They gotta wait for this nano right now. High noon comes out, but he's been reacted! iRock! The one and only Mayo clutching it out there! Cole wants to get popped there by Sans, but it's looking like the job is done. Surfer is gonna have to run right back to the respawn with their tail between their legs. I'm just waiting for the day, Joltek, where it just bites them. One day, waiting for it. Oh, most definitely. Alright, ult's coming up, economic. Most definitely, Infinite's probably gonna engage a bit, I would assume. Especially with that beautiful block from iRock. Right, just isolating the Silver Surfers. He is already taken down. Polish gonna be on this bar right now, but it's hard to get the damage he's looking for. Eskimo, it's always up to him, but he's down. Nano Boost taking the Zarya down. Fast gonna be going. Hammer down. It seems like the day has come, Joltik. Polish fighting too. That boom kill would be absolutely clutch with the Silver Surfers. However, the Sim is still alive right now, and it's pumping in the damage. Grab committed. It's gonna catch two, and Swampy's punches Infinite back to the spawn room. Surfers looking like they're gonna finally get the control they are looking for, and Konami, they're gonna respect that. They're just gonna walk right back. Yeah, it's a what do you want to call it? Like a fragmentary of passage. A rite of passage, that's the word. Yeah. Oh, yeah. we call down here in Comedy, we call it the 1-2 finger swings. Barrage gonna be. Barrage will be committed, but Foss is ready. That's the one problem with Polish right now. He's going against a Diva, and Diva's just gonna be able to negate all that damage. However, Reinhardt, I should say, gonna be able to take advantage of a lot of that damage and fine-tune there. Konami just have to back up. Boss gonna get a reset there also. Just a quick jump off the edge. Let's see if let's see if that gets any value. It does! Korean gets Ice Wind. However, while he was flanking the Silver Surfer's Rhine, he fights two! Buckbreaker, once that main DPS is gone, he fights a third! Rook! Down for the count! Boss will probably take him down, but at what cost? He's gonna be a bit of a stagger there, it seems like, from Korean. Yeah, he's just... Honor was just absolutely clutch there. And now, because of that play from Honor, we're gonna see a final fight territory for Konami. Grab gonna come in early, this might be it, there's no overtime to keep him alive, and there it is! Polish fighting two for the grab! Has the barrage ready to go. He's gonna have to find an opening. Cool fast team magnet, he is down! Polish looking forward with Lucio. Niano just trying to stay alive, but Sonic fights two somehow! This might be enough! Rush comes out, but he gets uppercutted right in the jaw! Irock back from the spot of the ball! This might be enough! Eskimo does have a charge over, it might be enough to keep up Silver Surfers to keep this for the series, but the cap, it's going for Konami Code right now! Onhard trying to stall as long as he can of the shield, but it might not be enough. Oh! It's File clutching out there with the res! Eskimo back in the fight, he has to get the charge now. He's 40% to a grab, so he won't have it in his team fight potentially. And look at this! Buckbreaker on the doofus! He's finding the value of the pick! And Konami Code! They're gonna bring it back, it seems like! That's just insane, Joltek, but that's classic, just classic Blake Assassins right there. Konami Code gonna take the first map here in tonight's series. And I gotta say, Joltek, it's looking like we got one hell of a series. Swappies, right? Correct? Or are you mean on the... Oh, Infinite. Okay.
Epic.
Yeah, it honestly just brought the tempo right back into the favor of Konami. Those stagger picks did. Sorry, I got a bit distracted there. I was reading the new match chat there with Korean. I'm very interested now to see how they're going to respond now in map 2, because in the end of the day, that was definitely a more Konami Code favored map, especially with control not going to control sector there. You know, a lot of dive that could have been played there on Guardian and stuff. So now Silver Surfers coming into map 2. If I'm right, it's Keen's Row, if I'm correct. Should have more of an advantage point. Ah, okay, I am wrong. So, you know, but it's sweet of a miss sometimes. You know, sweet of a miss. But that's actually a perfect term to describe it. Diverse. You know, the dive works beautifully on it. You can see the rush, double barrier, so much. And, but I gotta say though, if I'm Silver Surfers, I might be a bit worried because this is a dive-centric map, and Konami Code just love running that dive. So, they gotta be careful here on this first point. All right, some swaps coming in on the side of Silver Surfers. Aiden is coming in for Adhar, and Chaotic going to be coming in for Eskimo. It seems so. I have never seen Chaotic tank ever. You know what it is? Do you know anything about this Joltik? Yeah. The one thing I'm it's gonna be interesting to see, however, is what type of dive they play. You know, like Infinite. You know, like I said, he plays a lot of that Echo. He plays a lot of that Genji. Well, on the side of Konami Kill, they have like they have Korean Wannabe who plays a lot of like Ash. Okay, and they have Swappy who plays who's known for that McCree. Can be quite. Also, I should mention Korean can play the Tracer. I should mention that. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, so.
Okay, you should be able to hear me now. Please let me know if you can, Maka. So I just went into settings. Somehow the audio sharing settings was turned off. I definitely didn't turn that way, and it seems odd for that to be on in the broadcast game channel. Like this account should have that defaulted to on, so I apologize for that, but you should be able to hear me now. And I think I'll wait until I get a go-ahead for that to be true.
That is really odd because it was fine the last time, correct?
Yeah, your stream 4 days ago. Yes, you can hear me now. Okay, that's interesting.
Awesome.
that happened like that.
Well, Joltik, sometimes there's a imposter among us, and they just, turns it off.
That's a bummer. All right, just assume everything in the first game you heard when he was paused. I was saying something really smart that was like groundbreaking for the game. Just fill in your own in your head.
I can back him up. He was doing rocket science, bro.
Yeah.
Insane.
40 chests over here. I was predicting exactly what was going to happen every fight. It was the best analysm. Analysm. There's a Bushism for you. Best analyst job that's ever been had. So, thanks, Mark.
It was that. I gotta say too, Joltek. I gotta comment you quickly when you said I expect Brock Buckbreaker to get a 3K, and then he did. I was actually insane. To like the third eye there.
What can I say? Played this game a lot. I see it all in my mind's eye for sure. All right. Well, we're still waiting. I think we're still waiting for ready. I think anything out of Konami Code. They haven't told me swaps, or unless I've missed something here.
They have not. It seems like they're still doing eternal swaps. Oh, there we go. We just got a ready from them.
Okay, no swaps. We're going in.
Okay, then here we go. Map
wait.
2. Oh, I swapped. Oh, wait.
I'm changing the names to match. We are professional here. I swapped the teams, but I didn't swap the names.
Oh, you don't swap to map 3.
Oh, well, I already. That's okay. Does it matter though? Because does it matter?
I would say no, but
all right. Let's just follow. You're right. I'll change it back.
Yeah, going back to the rules on the Oasis rules.
Yeah. Right.
I know. Also, so we don't get jumped by the arcs.
Yeah, that's a good point. And the team that lost could say, we broke a rule here, even though, like I said, the first map doesn't matter. Second map shouldn't either. But I will swap everything back. So just give me 1 second to swap the spectators to the correct color, and then I will let them know we can go in.
I'm sorry. I just nasty in the pasta here, always. Oh my god. Got some nice pork coming out of it.
A little spicy. I like it.
Okay, so ready's now on both sides. So
just 1 second, swapping to make sure everyone's spectating the right team. I think we are good to go. Nation Most Wanted normally don't have chat box open.
Chat box is open too?
Well, the chat box only exists because of the console thing that just happened. I can try to turn that off. I don't think it's right. That wasn't there before because you couldn't type because it was just console. But now that it's crossplay.
He might mean which extreme quickly. He might mean the Twitch chat box.
Oh, you mean the Does he mean the overlay? Is the overlay not typically on this account? Okay, so something must have happened to change the settings back to default. I'm wondering. All right. Well, let me change that back real quick. Yeah. Yep, I'll take full blame, but we are back in full screen. So we're good to go.
Nice.
And okay. I think I'm gonna.
What's up?
I'm just reading Nation's Most Wanted saying Twitch chat. Leave then so you don't lose the feed. I'm not sure what that means. I'm just gonna go in.
All right. Here we go. Map 2. Going into it. So Silver Surfer's Konami Code. Konami Code right now is being up 1-0 in the series so far. And right now, going to Dubani, this might be a potential 2-0 if we see some insane 5-head plays coming out here from Silver Surfers. Because this is definitely a very Konami Code map for being very dive central here on the second point.
Yes, it is. I'm expecting definitely a dive on attack from Konami Code. And again, the fact that they moved Thao over to tank would suggest to me that they want to have the option to flex to a diva, meaning they want to mirror her. We'll see if they come off on the defense first point though with the mirror.
Yeah, I mean that will be the test of time if you see the mirror. Look at luck we are not actually. Oh, there you go. Aiden's going up the ball.
Right. So it's an iteration of dive, but it's a slight variation to account for the strengths of the players, I believe, or the strength of the map here. Swat is going to go on Soldier, like I was saying earlier, to make sure he can absorb a dive that comes. He's going to want to sprint, probably going to want to hold his high ground behind the point, and as soon as the dive comes, he's going to run straight down. Irok's showing Arissa. I believe that's a classic Irok troll. Yep. We're going to get dived for sure.
I'm not your father. I mean, this is kind of say, Jolter. This is really interesting, though. Where even still Swappies on this Soldier, right? Because like you expect him to stick on the McCree maybe for that, or like the Ash with the dive, but the Soldier is, it's kind of I guess the best way to word it is a very ambitious pick.
Yeah, he's gonna want. He just wants the ability. He wants to lock the leg so he can peel for himself if need be. Dive. Okay, jump immediately comes in from Irok. I think it's just to position for a second jump coming in soon. They can scout this immediately. Silver Surfers can, and Buckbreaker comes up to the point through the stairs, gets a combat roll backwards. I think it's just a distraction as Irok comes into the back line. Here comes Aiden to peel for his own backline, but it's just not enough. It's infinite there for the Tracer. Comes in and collapses. A beautiful collapse from both sides, and both supports are dead almost in the blink of an eye. At this point, it's probably just a stall game. I doubt they're going to be able to take it back unless there's a heroic play from both tanks who managed to survive. Down 8 and get it back up, probably give away a tick or two. They know they have time to contest, but they want to make sure that they have as many people here as possible to make sure that it has the highest chances of success. Sun uses his nade kind of early. That might be a mistake. Aiden drops in with the bubble. He's got the support. Kadok's not even close to her ultimate yet, so they won't be able to use that. A res comes out. It's ambitious, but it works. Irok trades to Aiden. And it's just a slugfest right here. Korean does end up taking out Buckbreaker. It might be enough. I think they are going to actually end up taking this, as now Infinite's got to back up, and it's just Foz getting stalled out on the point there.
Beautiful. That was a beautiful retest right there, Jonathan, coming in from the tanks there. And I think one thing we got to talk about here is Aiden when it came to that patience there. He absolutely perfectly waiting there the dive. Okay,
yep.
So it's gonna be a bit interesting.
I agree.
Infinite going to go around right now into the bottom right.
They want to retry the collapse. It worked really well the first time. The execution was there. The follow-up wasn't. Oh, but this time Aiden, they're ready for it. Aiden gets, or Irok gets immediately purpled and deleted from the game. And now SWAT's back here. He's got all the space in the world. Nano Boost comes out. I don't think it's gonna. Well, it's gonna stall a little bit, but it's not gonna be enough to to make a huge difference here, and somehow Egg, who I forget, I apologize because of the BattleNet names, I can't remember who Egg is, but Egg goes down to Slub, who's Polish AF. So nice shots by Diana. And I think we're coming up with a lot of ults here, Tempo. I think we're going to see a lot of triangles.
Oh, most definitely. I would imagine it becomes one with Infinite, and there it is. Connect on Chaotic, actually. Ult's coming out right now. It's an ult massacre. High Noon, the bomb, gonna be able to clean up. Seems like here for Konami Code. Aiden's gonna be stalling for a little bit longer, but that's it. However, I gotta say, a very solid hold right now from Silver Surfers coming in from that first defense there.
Yeah, that was an admirable hold. They played that first point pretty well, the first fight at least, but I think in the end, waiting until you had enough ults to press 4 triangles at the same time was enough to seal the deal there. Those pressed 3. It was a very nice Diva Bomb coming out from Foss that really ended up sealing the deal. Traces are kind of just poking at each other on this side room, not really trying to get a kill per se, but at least establish control of the high ground. Very important as this cart comes around this corner, and Buckbreaker gets dove on by Aiden, and it's very clean as the damage boost coming out from Aiden helps him finish it up, and SWAT's going to pop ult probably just to clean up here, as I think the fight's over, and IROC does commit the Primal Rage. Probably going to wish he had that one back.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate from IROC. I'm assuming IROC thought he could be able to stall or maybe push people off points so he could get a bigger push, but it bites him right there, losing that Primal there. However, one advantage I think that is quite grand for right now for Konami Code is that Nano Stallin's going to be able to probably Nano Rybok into this engage when they come into this next team fight. There it is.
Yeah, Infinite's so far in the back. He's not even a part of this fight. He's sort of just chilling way back in the third point. Polish AF is going to get dove by both tanks, but he's got really nice support from Chaotic. He's not going to fall there, and in fact, it's going to just be too much for IROC to take as he's getting shot by, it looks like, every single member of the Silver Surfers, and the cart's going to stop right at this bus here.
That's the Soldier doing. Soldier seems like doing a lot of work here with the Mercy Pocket there. SWAT be able to get that slight tick damage while Korean to finish people off. Absolutely phenomenal coordination coming in from the DPS here. Oh, we're gonna see. That's interesting.
It's an early rally. Yeah, they don't want anyone to get picked before they can even make it. They know they got a long ways to go in this very open part of the map. It does allow them to get a little bit of presence on the high ground, and I guess they're going to drop down and have a fight down at the bus. It's a massive purple coming out from Slub. Oh my gosh, that might be enough alone. No one's died yet, though, notably. Aiden finally falls, but no one's really moved the cart too much. It's just been Foss slowly creeping this forward, trying to get around this corner, and it looks like IROC has made the call to engage and finish this fight out. Nice Diva Bomb comes out, kills Chaotic from Foss, and now it's just the cleanup duty as Styles going to probably get to point here and die before he can remech and get a quadra kill with that absolutely overpowered new passive of that ultimate, and finally Curran is going to fall, and I think that second point pretty easily wrapped up there.
It indeed is, but it's not all doom gloom yet. So Polish gonna have that nano for this next stage, and this definitely gonna allow a team fight victory because Konami had to pop a lot of ults to win that team fight there.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna see a Nano Visor or a Nano Monkey, but either of them is very scary for Konami Code. And Suns Suns almost has his Nano. They can respawn Nano. Bomb to lead in, but Bubble's going to completely absorb it. And meanwhile, Buckbreaker's going to get a nice headshot onto Korean. He's going to say buckle up a few times. He's sort of flirting with the ban there, but we're going to allow it as at this point, I think it's a one fight for the Silver Surfers. Yeah, the Konamico's just going to back up. No Nano Boost used there, importantly. We still have the Nano Visor coming out, I think, from the side of Silver Surfers. It's probably going to be answered by, it could be either Electric Cowboy or it could be a Nano IROC, but either way.
The Electric Cowboy will be quite spicy.
I would love to see an Electric Cowboy. It's been a long time since I've seen that. Unfortunately, the Divas in the game make that a little hard for that to be fruitful, because a DM to the face doesn't matter how much damage. Nanoed into the Monkey, they're going to choose that over the Nano Visor, and the responsive ultimate comes out onto IROC. So we have two fights coming up at the same time, and they're both trading the enemy backline, so it's going to be a really close fight here. Aiden finally dies to a flashbang. That does about 5 damage, I think, so that's a little bit unlucky. And now we're creeping here to the end of the third point, and finally the Visor comes out, and it's going to probably be enough to cause a pause here for the advance of Konami Code.
Most definitely, Foss is going to fall right there, and Konami Code not going back to the spawn. I gotta say, I want to see more of these aggressive dives coming off the Konami Code. It's something that they showed against Hot Pocket, and right now they've been kind of respecting Silver Surfers pretty hard. Like, you have the soldier, you have the merchant. The targets are easy to dive, especially with no Brig on the field here. But so far they've been focusing a lot on trying to isolate tanks, and this has not been paying off right now for that Konami code.
Yeah, I agree. Their most successful dive they had was the very first one when they dealt both supports. Looks like they're actually going to try that again. They realized that that was the path to success, but Polish AF ends up surviving though. However, the dive on the backside from Silver Surfers isn't fruitful at all. Aiden goes down, and now it's a fight of the DPS. I think Konami Code is squarely in the lead here. They have presence on the point, and SWAT's going to get dived from both the D.Va and the Tracer, so now he's just in survive mode. Very nice Helix Rocket forces out the recall earlier than he would have liked it. D.Va Bomb comes on to point from Foz. Bubble's going to block that completely. Nobody dies. Sleep Dart comes out. I think hits him right as he's remeching, so it doesn't do much. And now we're in last fight territory.
And just like that too, and what's crazy now is that this game is such an uphill battle for Konami. 5 ults on the board right now, and all you need really is just to get that pick on the Buckbreaker or even Sans with a nano gauge here. So if you're Konami, you definitely want to get IROC to get to that point, get the stall for that primal rage. Like
early primal rage comes out from IROC. He just wants to make sure he can get on the point without dying. SWAT's got the damage boosted nano visor, or it's not even nano, it's just damage boosted visor from the backline. The flank from Buckbreaker somehow kills 2. That is insane. How did he do that during a damage boosted visor? The absolute cojones on that guy to try that, and the fact that it works out is all the better. And I think that might actually be enough to stall it out here. I mean, the Silver Surfers do have the spawn advantage, but the nano onto IROC means he can just set in the point and just zap anybody who gets near. He's got a miniature nuke attached to his gun right now, and nobody else can really touch. They're stalling the best as they can, and it's actually pretty admirable. Spawn's coming back. The spawn advantage from the Silver Surfers might be enough to hold it as Nano chooses to come out to Swatty, who's now just going to use it to run around and survive as long as he can. They're looking for picks on both sides. Egg takes out Slub, which means the healing's way down. Now it's just Chaotica, the stall pick as Lucio. Doing her best, very admirable stall. Aiden's back, and that bubble means that stall's going to be multiplied in its effectiveness, as it's going to be really hard to chew through that in an overtime situation. But the Buckbreaker coming out of Doomfist, he came out of this at the end of last map, and it cleaned up, and he's looking for round 2 of the same thing. Oh my gosh, he's going to do it. He's going to solo kill 3, and I think this is the raid boss they need to deal with. Buckbreaker's Doomfist comes out. I don't know why this man isn't just locking this in immediately, because the 2 times we've seen it, he goes out and he just kills everyone.
Oh yeah, I had a chuckle there because you're so correct there. But this, I want to know if this like his specialty pick. Just both times, like you said, he comes out and just brings the team fight back in Konami Code's favor with that Doomfist pick. He got 5 there, didn't he, Jotik?
I think he did. He got 5. And it's a 5K with a Doomfist, which means he probably did most of the work. When the Doomfist gets a 5K, you know, he's one-shotting with punches and charged up slams and a bunch of baloney. That means he can do things that most heroes can't seem to do. So that was really impressive. And is Buckbreaker J Money? Is that who that is? I see in chat someone say J Money popped off. So I'll call him J Money if that's his name. Got to put some respect on that if that's.
That is J Money.
All right.
Oh! I didn't realize.
Well, that was impressive, and I think if you're Silver Surfers, your morale's a little bit blown there. It looked like you really had that in the bag to full hold, which is a big deal on this map to make sure you don't push through the end of the 3rd point. And the fact that a Doofus can just stroll on in and get a 5K when all hope seems lost twice. He did that same thing in the last map too. Really puts a damper on Silver Surfer's day.
Yeah, and especially after being so dominant there on that final defense, it definitely gotta put a sweat on the brows there. However, we're gonna see some swaps coming in right now. Swap is going to go into that McCree, and you know that's something I was waiting for to see him get off that soldier. So it seems like it's probably going to go with that full commit there on that McCree roll, one of his best picks. As anybody who knows classic hitters knows.
Yeah, he's very deadly on that McCree. I think he's had enough. It's also notably better against a Doomfist than a soldier, so that might be one of the leading factors. He doesn't want to get 5K'd again. So we have kind of a normal dive coming in. Of course, the Monkey dives into the back line on this high ground to try to kill the supports, but this time it's not as effective as when Konami Code did it. However, Swatty with a very nice headshot onto Infinite kills him, and that's probably enough now, as that leads into a pick against Suns, and it's just cleanup duty from here on out, probably. Yeah, it's just.
Say, Konami...
Go ahead.
Sorry, what? Oh, okay. Konami. I was just gonna say that Konami Code they dropped off the high ground to the point there, and they just got collapsed on. Usually you see like a tank, like maybe like Diva for example, drop down on the West State high ground and get like a perfect dive coordinated there to just contest, but it seems like there was not a bit of coordination in who was going to contest point there, and they got taken advantage of by Silver Servers there because of that bit of miscommunication. I
agree. That's exactly what it looked good to begin with, but I agree. The coordination just wasn't there. They turned in a couple different ways, and you're absolutely right. That's probably what cost them that first point. Let's see if they learn from that, as the second point can have very similar play patterns as you got your sports on the high ground. You want to get dove. Now we're just, as usual, contesting this high ground around the bus. This is typically what happens, a little Sonic dance. Nobody's really dying. They're just trying to jockey for position. Aiden's taking a lot of the damage, but he's getting supported by both his healers, so he's not going to die just yet. Bob comes out very early from Buckbreaker in the back of the point. It's actually very well placed. It puts Silver Surfers between a rock and a hard place. Nano Boost comes out at Aiden, not offensively, just to keep him alive. Sleep Dart comes out onto Bob, but it's a little too late. Aiden dives in the back line. He's going to get slept. Sun's going to do his best to peel against Egg, but in the meantime, Swati, he's getting dove by multiple people, but he doesn't really care. This is the Swati special. He's going to get supported by Chaotic, and he's going to try to 1v5 himself to match J Money's performance, and so far it's working out.
That double dink from SWAT, bro. Absolute. That is just classic SWAT beats there, getting those double dinks. And because of that, actually, you can see a fast cleanup. And Boss gonna try to get a recontest
here. Okay.
Does get Polish, and it's still, the fight is still going, but he's gonna get taken out by SWAT.
Oh, barely didn't contest there. That was a good bomb.
It was the angle and everything, and the drift, but at the same time, it was kind of a way he was played. Foster was the only one there. His team was not there to get the recontest, especially Rock. He was not ready to go, it seems.
Yeah, just barely off in the coordination to close that off. It was kind of close to recontest. Another early rally from Infinite. It seems to be a signature move here, but he wants to make sure, doesn't want to wait till it's too late. Wants to make sure it gets the value early on, and it does, as Swati has no mobility while the rest of his team does, so he's just left out there to dry it. And he's sort of backing up slowly and takes the damage of all six of Konami code, and now they're going to push in. They smell blood in the water, and they want to press this until they get every single stagger possible. Now smells that it's a little bit of an overextension, so the counter bomb comes out, catches out Egg, whose name I can never remember because I just think of Egg, so sorry whoever that is, but that was a really good Diva bomb from Thao. A really nice reabsorption there.
Yeah, that's catch. Yeah, I should quickly say, kind of bring it pace. A is Nano Boost.
Nano Boost. Okay, thank you very much. Nano Boost. I apologize. Nano Boost.
Yeah, it does that perfect space, and I think that was a bit of, once again, way too much of an overextension there. That came from Konami. And
what is happening?
Now, this is chaotic right now.
This is chaotic as it can get. I'm not sure who's winning.
I don't know either. It's quite a mess, but I'm looking like Silver Servers right now. This I know how I might change it around. Buckbreaker finding SWAT bees. Brock just trying to bring this fight back together for Konami, and it seems like it will be the case. The primal.
It's still going. It's.
Oh my.
All right. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
I think Konami Code had it, but I tell you, Tempo, that sometimes there's fights that happen and you can't tell if it's GM or if it's bronze, and that was one of those fights. Yeah, it saw some good stuff in there, but it was several engages coming from different areas. People were just sort of popping ults, and it was slow. But in the end, it looks like Konami Code, well, they probably hit a few more shots to seal the deal there. This time, I think we're going to see a little bit more coordination in their fight, as not a lot of ults are available. That's really important. These are the most fun fights to watch because without the ults available, it's really a skill gap game.
Yeah.
Okay, Diva remeked. Aiden comes up just to take the space from the high ground. He does bully them off 2v1. He gets flashbanged and immediately died. I think he probably was a little over-aggressive to come back down. Again, here comes a big bomb from Foss just to seal the deal. That corner here is just so good for Diva bombs. There's hardly anywhere to go when they're in that tunnel. So if you throw a Diva bomb out there and there's no protective barriers, it's kind of almost a guaranteed kill.
It is. I mean, it's just that, you know, that Diva 1-2, the classic shenanigan that corner is.
Yeah.
Now what I'm assuming right now is we're going to see a potential gauge here from Konami. The reason why I say that, Jonathan, is because look at Son. He has that rally to go, and as we've been seeing, they've been initiating with that rally aggressively quite a bit. So I would not be surprised to see them take the forefront with this rally.
Yep. Well, Aiden's going to actually start the party with his own jump in and the Diva Bomb at the same time, and actually this time uncharacteristically Sun saves his ultimate, but actually it's probably the right call. The Diva Bomb and the corresponding remake out of Thao killing 3 means it would have been a waste, and they're going to have that ult to stall, which I imagine should be a pretty effective stall as they got plenty of space to round this corner. So we're going to see a High Noon, we're going to see a Rally, and we're going to see a Pulse Bomb, and Irok's almost at his Primal Rage, which means the stall potential is super real here. We really want to see a nice Pulse Bomb out of Korean if they want to seal the deal quickly. Nano Boost comes in early onto Aiden, and of course Suns is going to pop Rally and stay on the point for a stall as long as possible. Swats in the trees, he's hiding in the bush like a predator, and he's got his Chaotic Pocket to make sure that he can descend from the heavens and kill 2. Is it enough? It looks like it might be, because well, wait a minute, Thao does... Okay, yes. It was actually looking pretty close as Infinite there was doing his best to put the team on his back. He got a couple picks, but Thao, with that deadly, deadly Diva, gobbles up the Pulse Bomb, which was destined for a support, I'm sure, and lets them close out the round.
And because of that clutch Diva play, Joltik, we are now in a interesting position right now. Silver Surfers, they're gonna have to cap the point here to make the series 1-1, because if they don't and this gets stalled out, it gets a draw, it's gonna make the series a 2-1 technically for still in favor of sides of Konami Code.
Yeah, this is tightly, as I like to say. This is my signature. It's a horrible pun, but a tie is very likely here. So I don't know if you're the Silver Surfers and you want this not to be a draw, as you obviously do not want. You're going to have to look to not play around ultimates. 1 minute and 21 seconds. It's enough to get a Pulse Bomb, and if they're really intelligent, they can take a lot of poke damage to get Polish his Nano Boost. But most of the ults are going to be hard to get in this time unless it's an overtime situation. So they're going to have to rely on a clean dive, probably onto one of the supports. Really, the Ana is the most vulnerable here. We'll see if they can pull it off.
Indeed, here we go. Counting down right now. Final push going through right now. Or I should say, the final round on Giovanni, I should be saying. I gotta say, I do really like Sarge on this Drake though thing. It's gonna potentially allow so much negation on this high ground and make Aiden's life a living hell.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to make it really tricky to get value here. They're really bundled up here on this top right corner, and Aiden's going to go in again. I know it's actually a pretty nice purple that comes out from Polish AF. It catches 3, it forces them to back up, and Korean wins the fight against Infinite. That is a massive pick onto Infinite. Buckbreaker responds onto Korean, making it a 1-for-1. Thao comes in and deletes Buckbreaker in the back line, though, so without either DPS, it's going to be really hard to secure the kills here, and I think this is it. I think Silver Surfers have the advantage they need to push through these stalls, especially with Aiden. Well, he's going to take a little nap on the point. He's all tuckered out from his big carry earlier, and yeah, I think that's it. 1-1.
Silver Surfers just coming out hot there, and I gotta say right now, I think a story that we didn't mention a lot, but a story that I should mention is that Korean is being a nuisance on that Tracer. He's getting a lot of early picks in these team fights, and as we saw there, he won the map for them by picking up Infinite so early on.
Yeah, I agree. That was a massive pick. He's got a very good Tracer, and when he's on, so that helped him out there. But I mean, it was only ever this close, I think, because J Money came in with the 5K on the Doom. Let's not forget that, to even give them a chance there to tie. So very close game. This is a very exciting one. I think it's going to go the distance here. It's exciting to see that such parity in this league, as I think this spells good things for the rest of the season.
Oh yeah, it's gonna. I think this. I said this in a past commentation, but not only does this spell good for the season, but this might be a potential grand final team, because both these teams are just, at least by the majority, are talked about as some of the best teams here in our Tier 1 scene so far, right? And this might be a bit of a sneak peek for a potential grand final in the coming weeks if both these teams make it.
Absolutely, we could be saying, I mean, whatever team takes this victory, takes first place in the league standings right now, really sets the pace and sets the bar for the league. You're right, this is an incredibly important game. You can't underestimate the morale, how teams are affected by these early wins and losses in the seasons, how they look at other teams. So this is a super crucial matchup, and It could go either way. We've had 2 maps, both have been very close. I guess Konami did 2-0 the first map, but both of the points were close to 100-100. So
yeah, especially that final point where Konami had to like get it out of a rough ditch there on that first point on Legion Tower. I think that just really sets, like we've been saying a lot, but repeating it once again, it's really setting the standard here for both these teams.
Oh yeah. We're seeing a lot of good carry potential plays too. I want to point out Polish AFs. I mean, actually, both Honest have been playing very well. I was going to just say Polish AF because he had a really nice purple there in that overtime push, that last push to it caused them all to sort of back up and to absorb that. And in that time frame, that's when Korean got the pick onto Infinite. So it might have been because of that purple that allowed the space for him to do so. But I've honestly been seeing a lot of good things from Sums too. A lot of good sleep darts and nades. Both Honest playing very well. I think it should be noted that this patch is the patch where they just nerfed the projectile size for Ana in order to compensate for the crossplay. So both of these Anas are now playing on hard mode. I'm not even sure if they're aware, but their lives just got a bit more difficult. They have to hit their shots a little bit better than they've had to before, and they're both definitely not shying away from the challenge.
Yeah, I mean, as what some people say, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and it seems like those nerfs are making these Anas stronger. Actually, I just want to comment on quickly that it's about Nano Boost, also known as the legendary egg here. It's been a hot minute since we've seen them play that Ana, so it's quite refreshing. Nano Boost, especially on Spell with Tengus last season and like Assassins before in the past. They were playing a lot of Lucio and Bap and Mercy, so it's very cool to see them on one of their signature heroes, the Ana. And I mean, like you said, also I should add on quickly, Polish too, a player that is known for his DPS gear, going onto that support, and it's just been paying off with his Ana play for the Silver Surfers. Yep,
absolutely. I think Nanobu should change her name to the Legendary Egg. I think you just coined her new name. I love that. I'd rather just call her the Legendary Egg because that sounds pretty epic. I don't think she'll co-sign on that, so maybe we'll stick to Nano Boost for now.
But hear that, Nano? You hear that, Nano? We both like the Legendary Egg.
It sounds pretty epic. So, all right. Well, we got a lot of GRs in chat. Everyone's liking this match so far, except for Xavier's actually trolling. It's actually mostly just Xavier and Iruk trolling. Not surprising. Both of them are trolls. So
I was gonna say Xavier is that classic, 2019 Oasis back when it was called back in the day when it was called something, the server was called something else, troll. So yeah.
Yeah. He can't help it. It's in his DNA to troll. We just have to control it as much as we can. Looks like no swaps coming out from the side of Konami Code. I don't think they swapped last time either. So
not.
Interesting. They have 4 subs on the bench here, and after losing that match, it was very close. But I'm surprised they don't want to at least try to swap anything up. But obviously, it's at the discretion of their captain.
Konami must be. I guess they must be this confident in this roster, Jaltic. I think that's the main reason why they want to stick to it. I mean, and it's not like this roster has been like bad for them. We should say, because they've been having great moments. So maybe this is what they've been scrimming with, and they're just like, okay, let's stick to what worked in the scrims, and let's try to put the results on the table against Silver Surfers here.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense if it works. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And again, that map was so close. It is a little too early to, cry the sky is falling and shake things up too terribly. So I'm not actually that surprised they don't swap it here. But if they lose this map and they don't try to make a little bit of adjustments to compensate for whatever deficiency they're having, I'd be a little more surprised.
It's quite interesting. I want to point out here is we got quite the opposite of the coin for Silver Surfers. We have many swaps coming in. Adhar coming in for Aiden, Xavier coming in for Korean, Xavier going to be on the tank, and Thal moving to support while Polish goes to DPS. That is a hefty amount of swaps. And if I may ask Jaltec, because you have that Tater Silver Surfer inside knowledge, do you have any idea or plan what you think they're thinking of doing here with these swaps?
Well, that swings me nicely into the next map, which I need to swap to, because that would tell me a little more about that. It looks like we're going to Hanamura. So let me swap that up. Hanamura. Why they? So they're not putting in Eskimo again, which is interesting. And I think for Hanamura, I mean, typically, if you want Eskimo in, you want him for Zarya, you want him for his Sigma is quite good. So I think they want to keep dive open yet again. You can see dive occasionally on this map, but it is pretty good for more shield heavy, less mobile comp. So I'm a little surprised not to see him come in. But again, I don't know what they've been practicing. I don't know if they have something specific that they want to try here. I think only time will tell.
Indeed. And we'll see pretty soon. Readies are given by Silver Surfers. Now we're just waiting for the ready for Konami code.
All right, let's make sure I have everything right here. I swapped the teams. I swapped their names. Everyone's spectating the correct person, so I think I am ready. I think Nianobu said they were ready a long time, 3 minutes ago, I believe. Is she captain?
Yes, they are. Oh, well, Brad Bunny is, but Nianobu's the one that does lineups. I don't see a ready person from Niano in the chat. They might delete it.
Oh, I see. You're right. I see same lineup. So you're right. I apologize. I'll ask her. I need to explicitly hear her say that she's ready. Yeah, I love this map. This map has a lot of potential for some pog plays with the positioning of the high ground, especially around the second point. This is the map where McCree comes out, a tumbleweed blows past him on the high ground as you see 6 enemies down to low ground in desperate overtime attempt, and you see a 6K come out. So I'm hoping for some big plays. Don't follow Xavier on Twitter. He's only a troll. Don't listen to that window in the chat in the bottom left. It's not worth it. And he's not MVP. I'm telling you right now. I'm not even thinking. I want a Widow duel, says Infinite. All right. I would like to see a Widow duel. I don't know about you, Tempo, but it can be fun to watch those.
I mean, Polish is a good Widow, so we could potentially see a Polish Infinite duel.
SWAT.
I would love to see it.
Yeah, and SWAT doesn't play it often, but he can play it if he wants to pretty well. So I don't think they're going to take it, if I had to guess. They're not going to get baited by Infinite. But SWAT can tilt fairly easily, so that's one. Maybe if they can goad him into it, they'd get him to match.
they could bribe him. Is what you're trying to say?
Yeah. Yep. Goad him into it.
All right. Ready now has been given by Nano Boost, so that's ready's on both sides, so we should be ready to go.
All right, gonna let them know, and we head into map 3, 1-1. Both maps have been very close, so and both teams are playing well. I think it's interesting. It's important to note here. I mean, we had that one fight that was a little bit sloppy, won't lie to you, but almost every other fight, you can see actual plays being made, actual coordinated efforts. It's some good Overwatch to watch.
Yeah, it's been a treat, especially for those dive fans out there. I mean, I think. At the end of the day, though, Silver Surfers just had the better target priority, and that's what they brought it out there on Nubani. However, now on Hanamura here on map 3, I'm very interested to see why they did these massive slops on the side of Silver. Because you said you have no idea, so I'm quite curious now.
Yeah, I'm not surprised to see the Hanzo coming out, but I thought it would be SWAT. However, whenever Chaotic's there, you want SWAT. You might want to play something that's can get a little more value out of the pocket. Hanzo definitely gets value out of the pocket, but his sniper nature means he's either one-shotting you to the head or not to the body with or without the damage boost. And, well, I guess Ash's nerf made her the same way, but I think if he's going to get a pocket, he'd rather be on the Ash. And interestingly enough, they are playing double shield with the Sigma, and so I'm very confused why Eskimo is not in. It's his signature hero, so that's interesting. Far on defense, too.
I was actually point that out quickly. That's very interesting. Is both these sides are running these kind of rush comps. Silver Surfer's running the more bizarre kind of like poke style rush with the Sigma. But one thing that's interesting is no Lucio's Joltik. So it's gonna be probably should see both these teams not have any speeds to use to engage with a small choke.
Oh, very nice early pick.
That might be the rip there, Joltik.
That's a rip.
Ruck's getting that fat fire stuck right now. And Hard gonna have to probably back up, but he's looking like he's gonna want to challenge still Ruck here at this choke. They'll try to build up a shadow, which is almost there. He's 70% already.
Yeah, he's been doing a lot of damage. No kills yet, but he's definitely been, I guess, swinging. His swings have been hitting Foss and Irock as opposed to Irock just hitting Adhar. Or, yeah, Adhar. Ooh, early window.
That's a very
headshot.
Oh my god, Polish is absolutely nasty coming from right there. Finds the headshot on the bug breaker. That might be an opening there. Adar trying to find another one, gets the shatter, gets blocked unfortunately. Res does come out, and Buckbreaker is back in the fight. Puppet is damaged, and then the soldier. Infinite almost has the ult ready to go. And there's Shatter looking like to be blocked there. And not a lot is happening, but this might be something going on. Infinite fights both tanks with the barrage.
Yeah, they might be feeling this lack of Lucio, as you're saying. They're trying to walk through the point, but it's just so agonizingly slow that Infinite's just got the easiest barrage of his life hanging out on the other side of that wall there.
Yeah, like we said, with Black and Lucio, there's no speed boost, there's no disengagement. And, and Infinite right now probably just smirking his lips because you get free picks just like that. Polish just gonna get taken out quite significantly fast. I don't think, if I'm correct, I don't think Keanu has res up to get him back up.
I don't believe she does, and she might just wait for the spawn anyways. Okay, Bob comes out really early. Oh, somehow it kicks out Sun with the. I guess the Bob was just a distraction to let Sun get the, or to let Swati get the headshot on the Sun.
Master Shadow comes out. Rock getting put on his bum, but there has to be a bit more fallout here. Somebody to solidify this, and that's going to be it. Xavier with the flux here solidify the state of the point capture. Boss is trying to get a bomb to do something, and it does by two, but he's already taken down. There's no bodies from the side of Konami to just take this point. That bomb might have been put in the wayside, and Silver Surfer's just going to cap that point quite liquidly split fast.
Yeah, very interesting use of Bob there. Thrown out very early by itself. Typically that looks like kind of a throw Bob because it just gets focused down, but Swati wasn't looking for the Bob to get the kill. The Swati was just looking for Bob to turn their head so he could get the kill, and it worked perfectly there.
Okay, here we go. Konami code. Gonna be holding here on top left. Ruck 60% to a shatter. It's probably going to be playing a bit of a slow game here. It's going to have to with Black and Lucio. Something I want to also have an interesting. Foss is going to be on the Wrecking Ball thing. Black and Ball Tank going to be quite detrimental. It's going to be free for SWAT to get some fat dynamites potentially in here. However, we haven't really seen a full engagement just yet.
Very slow play here.
Yeah, I mean, which does favor Silver Service, I should add. That Sigma Pope being able to play slow does a lot for Xavier. And with Ruck down, that might be enough here. But Infinite in the backline, he's gonna fight two. SWAT and Chaotic, they're gonna get to back to spawn. Polish gonna fall right alongside them.
Yeah, the flank barrage there is just proving too much. Infinite with his pocket. He needs to get focused early, or he's just gonna go crazy if he's got no pressure on him.
I was just watching Ruck there, just getting a bit aggressive there, trying to do his classic IROC play there on Adar. Not going to be working out, he's got to charge right back.
Yeah, we should see a lot of ults. I mean, Polish has been holding on to this Dragon Strike for a very long time. It's very good on this top right corner, especially when they're playing a Reinhardt. You can really isolate the Reinhardt on this staircase and either kill him or separate him. So I'm surprised he's been holding on for so long. I would like to see this as an engage tool.
We might see it here, Joel thinks. Rock waiting here on the top left corner, maybe for Adar to get a full engagement. There it is!
Got it, Shetty.
Fight two! It is absolutely massive! Xavier just walks that D.Va thing and instantly DMAX. No damage to be ill outside of Silver Surfers. Polish on the low ground, he's by himself, he's isolated. Infinite is licking his lips and gonna find him. Shadow comes out for Adar, that might be able to bring this back. So much damage coming out on the side of Silver.
That's a massive window. They have to head for the hills with that window. They have to hide behind that light post there, and it's such a pause. It just paused the game for 5 seconds.
Even with that pause, however, they're going to be able to bring it right back in their favor of that Adar getting a massive pin. Oh, popping both DPS Konami, and just like that, Konami Code, they're going to take the control right back in their favor. Only a tick game there for Silver Surfers.
Yeah, Infinite's just getting these barrages like they're very short cooldown ability as opposed to like an ultimate. He seems to have that at least every fight. I don't know if he's had it twice in that fight, I can't remember, but he definitely closed the fight with that. So again, if they're not going to focus Infinite and the fight goes long enough, he's going to slowly chip them down. He needs to be answered or less pressured.
J Money on this soldier right now, pressuring the right corner, trying to get some damage out.
I expect a minefield in this corner. Foss is thinking I'm going to open this with a minefield for sure.
Most definitely. It would be the smart play from Foss too. There's no Lucio. It's hard to disengage out of that minefield.
Yep.
However, he's going to be faking for that one through. He's going to back up. And if I see he's like infinite, take his duty.
Bit of an overextension there. He did end up finding the kill onto Chaotic though, and I really don't think that Silver Surfers ever want to try to push this without Chaotic. That's sort of the backbone of this team with the res and all the support that she's giving the DPS. They're going to try to go up the stairs anyways. This is very dubious, I think. Without their support, they could just get pushed on. And okay, but Slub, Polish AF with the headshot on the Buckbreaker. Okay, Slub with a double kill.
Oh my goodness, right now, Polish is being absolutely disgusting. He can be hiding on the point right now. It's going to pressure him away. Zano tries to touch him, but can't get the Valkyrie time, and they're down. It's like a technical game for Silver. This might be it.
I think it will be. I think Polish AF, who's been relatively quiet almost this entire attack, just turned it on there and said finally, like, wait, I want this round to be over. I'm actually kind of bored. So he walks up, he headshots the Infinite, and then he double body shots Buckbreaker, who we know now is J Money. And once both your DPSs died that early in the fight, it's kind of just, it's over. You need a really nice stall, or you need a lot of ults to bring that back. So very nice, well played by Polish AF there.
Yeah, I mean that is just the power of him, you know. Polish was always one of those players even back in the day, in those season 2 days of you know Mog, if you know the old name of OwO was Overwatch Oasis.
Right.
No. Where he just would have these amazing plays like that, which just bring team fights back around. Oh, look at this! We got some interesting hero pick that I am quite glad to see. Nano Boost going to be on that Lucio now.
I smell cheese. I see a Mei. I see a Symmetra. I think we all know what's about to happen. And
oh yes,
I know this team. I played with this team. I've coached a lot of players on this team. And I will be very disappointed if they don't immediately back up as soon as they see the Symmetra out of spawn. They should scout, at least somebody should scout in this top right window, because if they're not ready for it and they get TP'd and they get caught with their pants down, they're going to lose the point almost immediately, which will be backbreaking.
It's looking like Polish is going to be one scouting here. He's looking in this main choke. Probably going to get some pot shots also. Yeah, he is on that Junkrat there.
Reinhardt's not backing up. They didn't I don't know, did they not notice? Did Slub not notice? They're gonna still hold choke. Oh, it's
but they're going top left, it seems like, and it looks like they were ready. Polish gets the concussion mine into the teleporter. Neo Boost did not see that one coming. They're gonna be going back to their spawn. Silver Servers respond perfectly to the teleporter strat, and now with no Lucio, you obviously have to walk back with their heads between their legs.
It was a bait. I guess they decided they didn't need to reposition if they all had the coordination to immediately attack that teleporter, and they just got immediately collapsed. Whoever took that teleporter teleported 6 feet under almost immediately there with the concussive mine coming out from Polish.
Alright, wall is up for Konami. You're not going to catch anybody, however. In fact, Adar just going to charge back to the point. He knows his plays and doesn't want to overstep it. Top left high ground will be taking control of, and the Xavier trying to kick it back, but it won't be enough. In fact, it will be like it's going to be done here. J Money fights Polish. Polish give a pop that's going to probably still a deal over Konami code. Melted away Xavier there. Silver Surfers trying to get out, sustains the bodies they can, but it looking like it won't be enough. Adar following, and Kiara going to be going alongside them. Foul trying to get away alongside SWAT. It seems like they will be able to.
This is a SWAT. Down needs to die. Okay, good.
There he goes. Yeah, I thought he was gonna die earlier.
Yeah, he was alive for a long time. A little bit backbreaking for Silver Surfers. They were like 90% to almost every single ult that they had. If that fight just went on for about 10 more seconds, they probably would have taken him back. But very well timed by Konami Code, and they're looking to double dip here with the second point early take.
And they have the ult to do that. Brock almost has the shatter. They have the high dude, but that's definitely gonna slow feet down. The shatter and the tire, they combo beautifully. And Silver Surfers, they ride on Gorsley past Konami Code. Konami Code gonna have to go back to the spawn right now, but they do have some ults on the bake ready to go to take it control, potentially back in their favor.
Yep, very well played. Very ult efficient too. That's very important when you're trying to defend a second point here. You don't want to overcommit, and they only had to use 2 ults. They used the Earth Shatter and the Riptire, and it was enough to send it home. However, also very importantly, Konami Code didn't put put good money after bad. They didn't use any ults to try to take that back, so they still have Blizzard, and they still have Earthshatter, and they still have High Noon.
Yeah, and those are quite massive ults if they can get them greatly angled. Swamp Beast's gonna pop the attack visor, but the damage is being blocked. Boss ready with the defense matrix. High Noon gonna be popping J Money just to solidify this. And looking like it's gonna be enough. Swampy's still on the high ground, however, and it's will fight Jay, but Jay got 3 there, and that's looking like it's gonna be a second tick gain here for Konami Code. And Last Man Stall does come in. iRock gonna pile the point. I mean, Xavier should say, pile away the point there. Polish on the Doom, trying to stall as long as he can, but it's gonna be difficult. There's a beat now on the field.
Fatty Shetty.
It is a fatty shouting, but that's gonna be hard to capitalize on, especially with J Money hitting his shots. Xavier gone out of the fight. However, Foul is picking up the slack right now. Gonna be fighting Boss. No Diva. He's eating up the damage. Adar is down, and Ruck wants this to be done. He wants that 3-minute and 30-minute second time make. Alright, he has second one. Chaotic. Silver Service, however, still holding on by a Fred.
Very nice stall from Xavier. Uh-oh.
Nice indeed. What the shatter? It catches him! Xavier gonna be pinned to the wall. He's looking on a prayer right now with that HP. It won't be enough. Boss back to the spawn. Gonna take him. We're gonna take a second one with the punch onto Adar. And just like that, 3 minutes and 51 seconds on the clock will be given to Konami Code.
I thought for a second there Polish Amp was going to take it back with the Doomfist play of his own. Unfortunately, second point on Hanamura just isn't the same for a Doomfist player. It's so wide open. There's so few, well, to be frank, so few walls to play around with to punch into and to slam in between to try to stall that didn't quite have the same efficacy there. He does manage to catch one, but well played by Konami Code there to seal the deal.
Now I'm very curious to see if Konami Code will come out with the same strat again. You know, that teleporter strat, or they're going to just do something a bit more safe.
Yeah, I'm going to doubt. I think they know that Silver Surfer is going to have a beat on that strategy. They're going to shake things up. They also know that they're in no rush. They got 3 minutes and 51 seconds, and they know on a first point map like this, they just need to wait till they have enough ults to win. They also know that Infinite Sphara is very hard to deal with. So I think they're just going to stick to Old Faithful here and go for the slow chip away win.
Seems so, but there's one interesting little pick coming out here from the side of Silver, or Silver Servers. They're going to be playing a Pharah, seems their own to match Infinite.
This is going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, give me a far duel in the sky. However, J Money on that soldier. I'm assuming that the point is to maybe pressure, if they have a far on the pressure and swat there with it.
The question is, will the Faras ignore each other and go for value elsewhere, or are they gonna ego check it? Are they gonna take the 1v1 in the air to see who can get the double air shot? Looks like they're both opting to. Oh! SWAT goes for, okay, so SWAT goes for the very nice early pick, but I think he gets focused by a couple people and taken down as he overextends around that wall there.
Yeah, Infinite was ready to go. He had that finger on the trigger when it comes to that burst, and that direct.
Nice headshot. Res will be there, but it's still nice to get that out.
Yeah, you're now with no res in the field. That is a go button for if you are Silver Surfers. And it seems like Radar is ready. He's going to be pushing up here, swinging onto Ruck. Has the Shadow Ruin right now, actually, over Ruck right now, with by 10%. However, they're going to actually have to get in to take advantage of that. J Money, top right now, pressuring onto Swap Face, but he's taking down the
charge! Oh, the hero play by Adar! Keep this man alive!
And it seems like that's keeping the case. Chaotic talking to him to keep him up, swinging away. Silver Surfers thread the needle. They're gonna be like Cat Point A here.
Adhar just dons the Infinity Gauntlet and says, "I'll do it myself." He charges it, somehow gets his a Diva. I don't even know how that happens. Diva's got a fly button on a 4-second cooldown, but very nice charge onto the Diva to remake, and the Shatter as Irok had to keep his shield pointed at the rest of the team. That's a solo carry there by Adhar to make sure they're still in this game.
Most definitely. Now coming up here, they're gonna have to deal a bit more than solo charges. Infinite has a barrage ready to go and a window from Saws. They're gonna have to try to negate these the best they can. Here we go. The first ult pop by Sans. Gonna be that window. However,
the early pick on the SWAT.
Chaotic has the Falcon. I don't really even get the res out. However, look like he will actually. SWAT getting res back from the grave. Nano Boost gonna rest Infinite, and both bars are back in the game. However, Infinite's looking like he gets a better value. But the 3K barrage for Swappies!
It's unbelievable. How does he manage to kill 3? He kills both hit scan and the enemy far. He kills the 4th. Okay, he's finally had enough, and he's just going to put the team on his back for the second point. They're going to take turns. The problem is, Far is really bad killing the stall. He's very bad against stall heroes. Hard to kill the Lucio, hard to kill the ball.
Well, then it's going to be have to up to Polish here to deal with that, but it might not be enough. J-Money, he's on the high ground, he's blocked the legs, and he's on the soldier, he fights 3!
But wait!
At the top right.
They're taking turns with ults on the high ground.
But it looks like Polish would not be in the same value, however, he's going to be taken out by Foss there. And only a tick, good to be gained by Silver Servers, however, not a bad attack with the time that they had.
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, that was just like out of a movie, how they took turns, the DPS going up to say, it's my turn to try to carry on this high ground. But unfortunately, the High Noon just not quite finding the same value as the Tactical Visor. Alright, Doc point against Irook, he just cursed on stream, so what do we do there? What's his...
Well, you know, you slap Irook at the wrist and remind it it's a family-friendly stream going on here.
Yep, kids, watch this, sir. Please be respectful.
Ready for battle.
But yeah, I think that that Tactical Visor, I really like the play where he gets the first couple kills, but he doesn't want to stop there. He drops down and follows the Lucio, who he knows is going to hide behind that little light there. That third kill on the Lucio is probably what sent them home. So I really like the aggressive play. I like the idea to sprint back up there. And now it puts, well, it actually makes this map really close because they did take half of the point on the second point there, which is really important that they got that first tick. Puts them back in the game, and I think at this point it could go either way.
Yeah, most definitely. Swappies there gonna stick it on the far. So I'm expecting he's also expecting Infinite to be on it also. However, it seems like Infinite gonna be playing that Mei, that traditional rush there with the Moira Lucio.
Interesting tech for the attack Mei, especially when they know that SWAT was playing Pharah here. We'll see if that pans out.
But like so far it might be Foss negating a lot of the damage from Swappies. However, Irock taking too much there, and Foul gonna find him. However, the entire Silver Servers, the entirety of them are so low. They're gonna have to be careful, especially with Infinite fighting Polish there.
Well,
coming out on.
Yeah, the problem is that Foss is Baby Diva. I think he's going in just to reset here. That's going to be a really fat reset. I don't know if Konami Code wants to try this without Foss here.
I don't think they want to. That Diva is such an important aspect, especially a Ruck in the corner now. Ador just chatting out, taking Ruck to the silver corner. Shatter gonna come out also, gonna find one. And now, right now, Konami Code just throw his bodies in. J-Money trying to bring this back, and it's gonna find Foul, but the nano boost on Xavier
Blizzard from Infinite.
He does have it. Xavier has to eat that if he wants to keep this going. Because it's definitely turnover for Konami. Egg finding Chaotic is it's absolutely tragic. The Valve is not going to be able to be used there.
Yeah, they're going to take it. They're not even going to need Blizzard there. They just win it with good aim. And now if you're Silver Surfers, you're sweating because you know he has Blizzard. Diva Bomb's out. Diva Bomb on this point can be very powerful because of openings, and they have both support ultimates, which means they can play very brazenly here. They know they have the defensive backup to push onto points. So this first fight is probably the most important. If they can win this first fight, they have a decent chance. But they're coming at a big ult disadvantage.
Yeah. I think one thing they have to be certain of and be careful of is trying to kite that Cole. That's the whole West is going to be definitely the opening play here coming from Konami Code out of doubt. And Silver Servers, they don't want to take all that Cole damage front face. However, Irock going to come back in the corner once again by Adar, and that's going to be tragic. The Cole is just being popped there, not enough to keep up the tanks. And even with the ult disadvantage, Silver Surfers getting able to hold this one for a bit longer.
Thanks for the assist.
Yeah, Tempo, I'm just watching SWAT here, and it is brutal if you're Konami Code trying to go up these stairs when a damage boosted Pharah is shooting you in the butt, and it's doing splash damage into all 6 of your teammates, and you just you lose a lot of your health before you can actually get to the fight. I don't think they can ignore this SWAT, just like I didn't think Silver Surfers could ignore Infinite. So we'll see if they swap with their strategy. They're just going to try the same thing again.
We got the same strats coming out on that top left corner. This time with beat, however, that beat gonna be able to sustain. Shatters on both sides blocked, and they're gone for the fight. However, the Blizzard might be doing its job. 2 down, and Xavier gonna be a 3rd. He's demexed. Bomb does come out, however, he won't be able to catch anybody. No, but Faust's will and turn. Xavier gone for the count. And Silver Surfers, they gotta get a point here. They gotta stall for as long as they can.
Dow's still on high ground. That's the most important thing here. They have an Ana behind them, and it's just free fire from the high ground. They can't actually get to her right now. They don't have the resources to devote to stall her. Irok's gonna go for it, but it's probably too little too late as the damage is done on point.
I think it is. The Nano onto Adar there saves him, and he's able to stall as long as he can. John, this actually now is completely dangerous territories for Konami.
Oh yeah, I said that first fight at 2.5 minutes was the most important one, and that's only getting more and more true as the ult advantage is now swung in the favor of the Silver Surfers, and they've got both DPS ultimates. And again, Barrage typically not a great ultimate, but on this particular map, if they're going to keep going up on the staircase, it's going to keep getting a double kill. So they have to answer it. They have to save defensive matrix. They don't have a support ultimate to really stop it. Coalescence isn't enough to punch through the Barrage, so Irok's going to have to touch here as Ball, but he's going to take almost all of his health just to get there. Coalescence popped early only to keep him alive.
The goal does move up, but they're going to need a bit more than that. It seems like it's there.
Oh! The High Noon War.
It's Polish does get in the favor of the High Noon War, but in the end of the day, Konami Code, they're pushing right forward. Xavier trying to stall as long as he can, but Boss is there, and he's sticking to him like a fly to poop.
How does he live? The MO is how he lived.
The immortality is absolutely nasty from Foul. Keeps up Swamp Beast for a while bit longer. But Infinite, he's cut back on the stall picks. J Money on that Doomfist, looking for their 5k when he got on new body. Shatter comes out and it only catches Boss. That's not the target you're looking for. If you are Adar.
Oh no.
SWAT, but he's punched right
it's
in
the J Money Doomfist.
It's the good luck, dude. It's the good luck charm. It brings wins, it brings glory, and it brings 2-1 in the series so far for Konami Code.
He punched Polish, who is also coming back from Swan as Doomfist, out of it, so he immediately died, and then he stopped a couple stalls there. I think there is no better match made than J Money and Doomfist in an overtime push. I think that it's a guaranteed win. It seems that it's now 3 for 3. On fights, of course. Silver Surfers did take second map.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just looking at the damage at the limbs here. Swap Beast with almost 19k and Infinite with 53 eliminations there. That just shows how much value those borrowers were getting on Hanamura on both sides there.
Yeah, as is often the case, unfortunately, on console. If someone's competent as Pharah, it becomes the Pharah game, and there's 10 spectators and 2 Pharahs duking it out. However, I mean, the Pharah play there was fairly evenly matched. I think Infinite got the better early on, but then SWAT sort of came into his own at the end there with some pretty big plays.
Yes, I mean, it's always hard to play Pharah gets deep, and he was getting it done. So, hats off to SWAT Beast. All right, we are going to be waiting for swaps right now. I'm very interested to see what Silver Surfers respond to. Because like you brought up before, and I also agree and say it again, the lack of Eskimo is quite shocking. Especially when they were playing that Sigma on Hanamura.
Yeah, I guess we did see Diva come out later, and again, it is a good Pharah map, and Sigma's alright against Pharah, but if it's between a Sigma or a Diva, you'd rather have a Diva, so that makes a little bit of sense. I will be curious if they put him in on this map. He only played the first, and I'll be curious to also see if Konami Code finally decides to make any swaps, or are they going to let these 4 players just ride the bench forever? I mean, I guess if they're going to win, yeah, alright. Nano Boost makes the call. It's going to be the same lineup, and again, if it's not broken, don't fix it. I guess this is a tournament or a season game here, so you don't want to risk a loss when it's already working.
Yeah, and a lot of these players have been showing their wards on the comps that Konami Code have been running, so it makes complete sense of why they're going to stick. some swaps are coming in on the side of Silver Surfers. Aiden going to be coming in for Adar, and Korean is going to be coming right back into this lineup. Going to be coming in for the DPS, and Polish going to be going back to the Ana, it seems, as Polish moves over to the support.
Unsurprisingly, looks like they're falling back somewhat to the composition that won them Numbani.
It is definitely that smart idea. If you had a strategy that worked, might as well go back to that. And Silver Surfers seem to be doing just that.
Let's see. So Korean will go in. Korean DPS, Polish support. Well, it looks like Xavier's left.
I'm assuming he might be resetting or coming back. So there's no swaps just yet for Xavier. We're gonna have to wait and see. Konami could also having a similar problem with on the other side, J Money taking a bit of a leave. Oh, there we go. There he comes.
Yeah, I wonder if maybe there's some server issues. That's odd that they both left at around the same time.
Oh yeah, that might be. You're right. We've had it in the past, with servers taking a big crap on themselves and just shutting down. It has happened during competition too. Not a lovely experience to deal with. Getting everybody back in the lobby, like swiftly getting everybody.
Yeah, it sounds horrible. I'm glad that hasn't happened yet. We're almost done, so fingers crossed. Lioness in chat says, who's casting? I am Jaltec, who's talking now, and then I'm joined by Tempo.
Yep, hello.
Welcome. It's been very exciting so far, and I'm not just saying that. There's been a lot of really nice plays to see, a lot of coordination, and again, it's close. I'm so glad this is not one-sided either way.
Oh, this is an interesting swap. It seems like we'll be going back to the tank.
Okay, so I'm assuming that means Chaotic is staying as support, and then we're just seeing this lineup. We are ready. Okay, so let me make sure I have this right. Aiden Thao, Korean, I'm assuming SWAT staying. You mentioned, I think Chaotic. All right. And Yana Boost, this team not making any changes, so...
Ready's on both sides also, so we are ready to go anytime you are.
Alrighty, we are going to go in. This could be the last.
Oh, could be here in map 4, Rich City 6. Now, what's up?
One second, I want to make sure I just got to swap the spectators to the correct team, where they would be.
Oh, yeah, that is definitely a crucial thing to do.
That's a no-no if they're watching the other team. So let's see. Okay, now we should be ready to go.
All right, here we go. Map 4. It's going to be a Route 66. Series so far is 2-1 if you're just tuning in. I'm very interested to see what Silver Servers come out here. They've been showing a lot of different colors, a lot of different strats of what they want to do on every map. So I'm very curious if they're going to be either running the dive again or they're going to be running a traditional brawl, something they quite like to do.
Yeah, this map has a lot of flexibility, and it really actually is some forced flexibility here. The first points you can play dive. I think once you get to third point, it sort of gets forced to get down and dirty and up close and personal. You might want some barriers in there. You might want some more close range heroes. So I hope it gets to that point so we can see some flexibility. But yeah, this first point is wide open. You can play double shield. You can play dive. You can play most whatever you want. I think I've probably seen anything under the sun work here next to Big Earls. So. Okay, Thal's playing. Okay, again, slap to my brother's face as they start. My brother's Eskimo as they start Thal off on Sigma. So Zach's riding the bench tonight. Infinite's back on Echo. We haven't seen this since map 1 of game 1 on Lijiang, and if you'll recall, it was very effective.
I'm assuming they're planning on using those the Tracer and Echo here to poke the backline. They might be predicting Chaotic to go on that Mercy. I'm assuming.
Yeah, notably there's no Mercy Pocket for Infinite. He's relying just on the Ana and the Brigitte, so it's going to be a little harder for him to survive. I think we're going to start probably with just a little poke of the choke as we wait for the cart to round this corner and get close to Big Earls. Yeah, they're just going to scout out at first, make sure they don't see anything that they don't like, and they don't want to swap their comps. And they're confident what they have. Double shield's going to be a little bit hard to break, especially as they don't really have the poke. It's mainly a full dive, and it all comes down to Irok. His timing here is very important. When he decides to jump in and lead this fight, everyone else has to go. He chooses now, and everyone follows him. They're just going to take the sign on Big Earls and use bubble, just taking some space here. They don't want to full engage as they see the sort of bunkered up comp from Silver Surfers. It will be a little too hard to crack just that easily. We have finally a dive comes in, and they're all on Korean, but he manages to absorb it. He doesn't die yet. Finally, Suns did swap to Mercy, but it wasn't enough as Aiden just swings him to death. Aiden has the pocket as Reinhardt, and it turns out to be enough damage. Irok's back in, but he's on fire, and he's probably going to have to go out just as quick as he went in. Korean, again, is taking a bunch of damage, but that tanky McCree, that thick boy with a 225 HP, it can't be cleaved down by just a monkey. And I think at this point, it's the Silver Surfers' fight to win.
Looking like it is. I mean, at this moment, it's just Konami Code trying to get maybe a late pick or some cleave damage for some ults, but it's looking like this is going to be some staggers instead that are going to favor the side of Silver Servers. But you Foss there getting demacked, that is tragic. Yeah,
that's a reset. That's a reset and a half. We're getting close to ults there, and so if you're looking at the strength of ults, I'd say this favors. Well, it's actually dependent on. Oh, wait a minute. As I say that, they're going to swap to a double bubble comp. Boss is going to go on to the Zarya, and Irok's going to try. Oh, they're completely swapping everything. They didn't like how that first fight went. That's surprising. They were very close to several ultimates, though. They're going to completely reset. They have the time to build up these ultimates, but they don't have that much time. They're going to have to be pretty quick here with 2 minutes on the clock.
I'm assuming they wanted to build up ults at least for around the minute mark here. That's probably why they swapped early. Or always better to swap early than later. Korean gonna be issue.
It's aggressive, and it's a little too aggressive as the storm arrows are a little too much for even Thick McCree to take all to the face. Aiden somehow gets a charge kill onto Foss, and yeah, he's going to move on to the aggressiveness that Korean started, and again, it's another fight lost by Konami Code. And now, if you're them, you are sweating because they did not get close to ult at all. Foss swaps again for the second time this map. He's going to Sigma. He's going to match, but I think it might be a little too late. There's no way he's going to get a Gravitic Flux in the next 1 minute and 26 seconds. They're going to have to win. This game is won or lost off of the DPS's ability to frag out. Infinite's got to hit some headshots. They can no longer rely on just ultimates, especially because Thao here, he's got his own Gravitic Flux, and if they're all going to go into this top right here with the little choke, it's going to be such an easy to get it. Oh yeah, he's going to go immediately. He knows they're all clumped up. However, it somehow only catches two and nobody dies. Very nicely played by Konami Code. And in the meantime, okay, big window. I think they're going to be staggered. They all got to hide behind this little rock. Take a little bit of break. In the meantime, Irok with the flank kill onto Aiden. It's a tank diff.
It's a massive tank there for Konami Code. That is what they're looking for. They want those DPS to do something and to push in and get those picks, and it's happy like it's paying off. Infinite finding poster of the Dragon. Batiste going to be quite crucially gone for the side of Silver Servers. However, Swampy's finding a pick there. This might be enough to turn it back into their favor.
Yeah, it might be, and they have. I mean, at this point, the spawn advantage doesn't really favor either side. They're going to turtle up here. It comes down to whether or not they can maintain this high ground, and they can't. Okay, J-Money goes for a low ground ultimate just to sort of, I guess, relieve the pressure for a second, but really there's no real good targets because Silver Surfer is taking the high ground. Aiden's by himself though on the low ground. Oh my gosh, they almost forgot about Aiden. They had to use Immortality Field just to keep him up, and he still falls, but he gets the Earth Shatter, kills one, and before he's done, and now it's Irok on the point. He's going to swing to win. They've got no real pressure onto him, and he's going to swing until everyone's dead. High Noon comes out for Korean and manages to catch the legendary egg. He's going to flashbang. He's going to combat roll in, and now, oh my gosh, Infinite kills too, just when it looks like it's enough for Silver Surfers. Infinite's going to come in with his own carry, and Korean's got the high ground behind, and he kills, answer back on Infinite. This is such a sloppy fight. It could go either way. It's 2-2 now. Oh my gosh, the pistol's coming out from Suns. He wants to finish him off, and he does with the help from Frost. The charge by Aiden! Bob comes out.
It's absolutely a Chad play from him, and it's actually going to be enough. The charge, going to be the seal, the deal there, and Silver Servers, holding there is absolutely incredible, jolting.
That swung back and forth at least 5 times in the last fight as both teams are heroically making efforts to pull away, but in the end it was just the defensive positioning, I think, really is what pulled through for the Silver Surfers. They managed to maintain that high ground at almost all points there. They pushed off J-Money early, forced him for a low ground high noon, which is just there to pause. And really, sometimes all you need is a pause, but when you're on attack and you're near overtime, you don't want to pause. That's just helping the defense. They're fine to run down the clock, and they still have that high ground. So I think it's really the win there, outside of the mechanics coming from both sides, because Infinite had a really good play on Tracer. But still, I think the win there comes to Silver Surfer's positioning.
Positioning was definitely what solidified the victory there at the end, but I gotta say, for the entire match, those swaps at the end really did bite Konami Code in the bum when it came to winning and trying to, those team fights. They really didn't have a true team fight until the last minute mark there.
Yeah, they had a bit of an identity crisis. I agree with you there. They, again, I think notably they came out with the Echo without the Mercy pocket. I'm not sure why they had a Brigida instead of a Mercy. I would bet they're regretting that now, because I think we saw Infinite's Echo is definitely good enough, but it's super good with the pocket. I'm not sure why they didn't just start there.
I'm assuming they were expecting a counter dive, that's why they ran the break there on the attack, but Silver Surfers were not doing that at all. So also
yeah.
It's been interesting. Foss is gonna once again stick to that Sigma, so it seems like Silver Surfers actually were able to condition them, specifically Foss, onto the Sigma pit.
Yeah, that's exactly what they want. They want to drag Konami Code onto their own turf and then fight them there. And I think it's going to be pretty successful. But Infinite with the headshot on to Polish AF probably ends the fight before it really even started, as now it's just a slow agonizing death for Aiden. He's going to try to get out of there, but, well, actually, he survives at 1 HP. He does make it out. That's actually pretty impressive. I thought he was going to go down for sure.
It was definitely that health pack and Chaotic's clutch heal beam there. They want to keep up that ride. However, something I want to point out is Shatter lead. Aiden, he's got 80% here on the Shatter, and if he can get in and land it, that's going to be basically game there for Silver Surfers.
Absolutely, they barely have enough time to contest to get back if they can win the fight here. A big purple onto J-Money. He's on the high ground. He's going to fall back as he has to. Korean try. Oh, J-Money's at 1 HP. If Korean just hits one more Storm Arrow, which he does, well, the unfortunate thing is, as Korean was dealing with J-Money, it looks like the team lost the 5v5 on the ground. Actually, they lost the 4v5 because J-Money had it in Mercy for a bit. That's a little bit unlucky. And the Earth Shatter from Aiden, he hasn't pulled it out yet, and so at this point, Irok's going to get his own and even the score there. I have a feeling, Tempo, we're about to hear a lot of Ultimate voice lines happen concurrently.
Oh, most definitely. I wouldn't be surprised at all. This is going to be a bloodbath. Chaotic. With that Valve, I'm expecting them to pop that as the initiation for Silver. But right now, this moment, it seems like they're going to be doing just that.
Okay, Infinite with the very nice headshot leading into the Dragon Strike to cut off their retreat there. And Thao goes for the Gravitic Flux, but they already lost 2 people. I think that might not be the play that they were looking for. He would have had to kill quite a few for that to be worth it. And now suddenly... Good.
If I could say, it might have been like a misunderstanding, right? He might have thought they didn't have the map didn't have the immortality and tried to pop it, try to get a pick or two. But Sans had that immortality, was able to keep up the team from the Flux, and the Flux there just gets nothing at the end of the day.
Oh my gosh! I did it a second time. Oh boy! And the final fight too. They're not gonna be happy about that one. Sorry. Oh no! All right, they might blame my pause for that. I would say I don't think that probably had changed anything, but I'm definitely gonna get hell for that. So apologize.
Hey, it's like I said, it's a rite of passage. You gotta pause randomly sometime and then get blamed by a team for the pause. It's a rite of passage here, really. So.
Well, regardless, that was an enormous high noon from J-Money. He was in the right place at the right time with that window to cut them off into the corner. And suddenly we're in last fight territory. It's 55 seconds left, and what looked like an amazing defense from Silver Surfers is going to be matched and then some from Konami Code. If they don't pull out something great now, they have a lot of ultimates, does the Silver Surfers. Bob comes out early. We've seen this before. He wants to turn their back so that he himself can get the kills. Window comes out there. Oh, that's such a great window to slow down the attack. However, Bob from the back is doing too much damage, and now they got to try to focus Bob, but it's a little too late because the damage boosted Aiden just swinging to win in the front line is going to be enough. I called that a tank diff earlier, but I actually didn't see that fight, so sorry, Aiden. That was actually a joke because he's actually been doing pretty good, and that's just going to be it.
Silver Surfer is making this series 2-2. you jokingly say it's a tank diff, but I gotta say it's been like a very back and forth tank diff. But it's like the scale, really is unbalanced and go on both sides with how dominant both these Reinhardts and iRock and Aiden have been on all the maps they played so far. Oh, this is a beautiful play there, coming out from J Money there.
Yep. Absolutely beautiful. As expected, I'm getting flamed in Discord from the second pause, and so that is inevitable. But I think the real story here is that we're going to map 5 as the two top teams, as what looks to be the two top teams in the league so far, are just having an absolute slugfest. I mean, it's blow for blow, back and forth, and it's going to all get decided on this final control map.
Indeed, and I gotta say, I think the series is going to be dictated at what points of the control map are played. Silver Surfers seem to be the stronger of the two when it comes to the brawl, while Konami, like we predicted, being the stronger of the two when it comes to the dive. And here we go. Oh, Ilios. That's going to be very intriguing.
Yep. So here's the problem if you're Silver Surfers is they've looked good when they force Konami code onto their favorite comp, but Ilios, what's Ilios good for? It's good for Widowmakers, it's good for Farmer Seeds, it's good in some aspects for dive. There's a lot of flexibility, and I don't know if Silver Surfers has the ability to drag Konami code to their level, for their comp.
It's going to be quite a challenge for it too, especially if they go to maps like Ruins and Well. It's going to be quite a difficult task for them to try to make Konami code get on their level and match them. No swaps just yet on either side. We have to wait a bit longer for that. But I would assume that we won't see any from Konami code, as we have been seeing the entire series so far.
Yeah, that's a pretty good guess. I would agree, as they're 4 for 4 for the same comp, and with how close it is at this point, if I'm on the bench of Konami code, I don't even want to be subbed in. When it's 2-2 and we're going to overtime, I haven't played at all. I'm cold. I'm saying don't even just keep doing what you're doing. I don't want to be responsible if we lose because you put me in on the last map. So I would be very surprised if I saw any changes.
Most definitely. All right. So I also got to say quickly, what I'm very curious about is if we're gonna see Swappy staying in. He popped up that forward there, shockingly enough, on map 3, and he did extremely well. So this is a very pharmacy map. So I'm very curious to see if we're gonna see him stay in for that Pharah. And indeed, we are same lineup gonna be for Silver Surfers.
Man, this is just brutal. I was looking forward to bashing my twin brother, and the only map he was in, I was muted for stream. So this is a cruel fate that I could not say anything about him, but I guess we'll have to wait till the next map as he's getting set out for this one. This one's not as surprising. I'd say the breadth of the map, the wideness, the ability to flank and play different comps means that I don't think it's real ideal for Sigma or Zarya, and that was, again, two of his favorites. He also can play a pretty mean Hog, but doesn't look like Hog's too meta at the moment. Looks like both teams are shying away from that. So,
Hog, most definitely, Hog is he is a walking risk. I guess is one way to describe him. So,
yeah, looks like an easy target to get slept, purpled, damage boosted, swung, dove, charged, what have you. Oh, we do see a swap. Okay. As I give out the scenario I would not want to go into, Rosette is getting swapped in for the legendary egg, aka Nano Boost. So interesting. At the last map.
That is very interesting. Pop-Tart is a player that has come into this Blink Assassins, or what I should say, Konami Code roster, who's kind of a new piece here. Pop-Tart knowing players like our Bunny through Spellbound Tengus, but they have never played on the Konami Code core roster. They did play a bit in the past against Pizza Planet when Konami Code went against them, but it was more of a fun maps here. So I'm very interested to see what their plan is here for Pop-Tart. Pop-Tart, usually plays more of the Ana, what we've been seeing them use her for is the Brig. So I'm very interested to see if they're going to be running them solely on the Brig or on a narrow character here like the Mercy or Ana.
Yeah, me too. It'll be interesting to see how this changes up their team dynamic in terms of their play style and their teamwork, especially coming into this last map where I bet you all 12 of them are kind of stressed right now. They both know they're the two top dogs in the league in terms of their score, and it's all coming down to the next 5 minutes of gameplay. So I am pumped. I think we're ready on our team. I swapped the sides, even though it makes absolutely no difference on a control map, but I did it anyways. So we are good to go over here. We're just waiting for the ready up for Nano Boost, and then we will get in.
Indeed, and it's going to be an exciting one, but I think also an interesting one. They must have a plan here to put up a Pop-Tart on the final map. It's going to be... I'm very interested to see how it turns out. Still waiting for the ready. Like I said before, still waiting for the ready here. It's just kind of shocking too, because Nano Boost was doing so well on like the Lucio and the Ana that it's going to be quite a change here for this Konami code.
Yeah, it'd be nice to be a fly on a wall and listen into the conversation that led to this change. What sort of thoughts are going through these guys' head as they turned into this 5th map? I'm sure. Yeah, this was a very poignant decision, a very precise one. They had an idea behind it, so I think we'll see that come to fruition. Any second now as they get it ready up from Nano Boost. I guess they're still discussing their options going forward, and I don't blame them as everything's on the line. They should be using their time to think of isolate whatever didn't work in the last map, which I mean, I don't even know what the exact issue was last map besides, I suppose, their inability to decide on a comp. Foss swapped to 3 different heroes on the attack, and you just can't do that when you only have 4 minutes, and ultimates are so powerful in this game. If you're never going to get a single ultimate in an entire 4-minute attack, you're really just shooting yourself in the foot there.
Yeah. That is something that we 100% we don't want to see from Konami coming into this map. Something a bit interesting I want to say is we got a 1 second, so we're gonna be waiting a bit longer. It seems like we got a bit of a delay or problem coming in for Konami Code right now as we wait here for them.
Well, I don't know what the rulebook is in terms of how long we should or have to wait, but I am willing to wait for a bit longer for certain to see the conclusion of this. As it's been a real joy so far. I think the real winners, no matter what, are us. Tempo. I really enjoyed watching this, and I'm sure the viewers did too. Apologize if my observing wasn't amazing. This is my first time doing the observing. I tried to swap to different people's perspective when I could, but I'll just get better as I go along. But I think we've got a lot of good plays here tonight.
I can say from my personal experience so far with you, and I think chat will agree with me that you've been doing a phenomenal job so far.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
So I can say that the U of A definitely when it comes to casting here, a rookie that should definitely be a name to be talked about here at Oasis. But when it comes to casting, I should say, because when it comes to player play, everybody knows how good you are in Joltik.
Well, thank you. I did some research before I started here. I looked up some of your stuff, and because I don't know if I ever heard it, and I was like, you are amazing as well. I was really happy that I had you, because I didn't know, sharing play-by-play can be tricky, but I think we make a pretty good duo. It's gone well so far. I've really enjoyed it.
Yes. Oh, same here. It has been. I won't lie. It's been definitely the most consistent cast, and I'm not gonna lie to you. I really appreciate you for that.
You're welcome. I mean, besides pausing a few times and not having my audio for the whole first map. We got a ready up from Pop-Tart. That is true. Right. I'd never mentioned this about Silver Surfers. One of their big weaknesses is that Chaotic is notorious for eating dinner incredibly late, and so she's very hungry right now. Her din time was about 30 minutes ago, and so if this drags out much longer, well, I guess it can't drag out much longer than this, but we might see some fatigue coming out of her as she didn't get to eat earlier. So
the food difference, as what you're saying, might come into play.
The food diff is no joke. The energy, if you're hungry, it's hard to focus on who you're blue beaming there. So see if it matters.
Yes. And who knows? Chaotic might be hungry for some Konami codes instead of food though. So
yeah,
Konami code better be careful if they want to take the series home. Going to be starting off a lighthouse, it seems. A a map that we see a lot of variation from. So I would not be surprised to see two different comps coming from both sides here.
I would agree completely. I think we're not going to see a mirror. This map is pretty unique. I mean, you see a lot of different looks here. You can. It's really your choice on whether you want to try to bunker up inside the point or if you want to play sort of around the point and look and sort of poke in for a chance to dive. So, and you see both teams sort of swapping around to a lot of different picks. I think you can tell they're thinking the same thing about what we play. I highly doubt J Money's going to come out as Bastion. I would absolutely love it, and he would get my MVP immediately if he did so. But I think we're going to see a swap to McCree. Yeah, okay, we're seeing very standard looking comp come out of Konami code, and not too much different coming out from Silver Surfers.
They seem to really believe in that far there, as it is given, which makes sense. It has given a lot of the results and a lot of team victories here. Swappy's giving starting on that far, and he's pumping in that damage into the choke. However, the Lucio difference right up on the side is going to allow the point that we already go in control so far for Konami. Boss gonna be putting the bubble here on Iron Rush, but it's not gonna get much value. However, Swampy's is gonna find that first value. Infinite down from the cow, not gonna have any walls, and that is the go button for right now for Silver Surfers. No wall equals fast aggression. And they take full advantage of that. Falcon gonna find a fat rocket rock, and Silver Surfers confidently take control in for the lighthouse starting off here. Oh, we gotta need a pause.
Oh my. Okay.
Oh.
Double levers here. Interesting. Maybe there is a server issue. It seems odd that they would both leave it around the same time. Hope that's not. Hope that's not just. Stop the DOS. Okay, they're calling out that it was DOSed. I don't think. I know Silver Surfers. I don't think they would ever do that. I'll be honest with you. So. They're coming right back.
If they're coming back anyways, like I wouldn't imagine that it wouldn't be a DOS, because DOS is usually mess up the internet for quite a while.
Yeah, I think we're just seeing some server issues here. I mean, it's a real big evening for Overwatch in general, as crossplay was just enabled. So it's a great day actually to be an Overwatch player. But I'm not surprised at all if the servers are a little unstable here, so we're just gonna have to work through it. Luckily, it did happen at a pretty decent time early on in the map here, so they can recover, and they had already lost the fight, I think, by the time the DC happened, I think. Although, actually, now that I'm remembering, the first kill was onto Infinite's May, and I do think he was standing still for that second Pharah shot that hit him by Swati, so a little unfortunate there. He might have been DC'd that early. It was really hard to tell, unfortunately, especially because then he's dead, and we can't tell that he's DC'd yet, so now we wait and hope he comes back.
Yeah, but something I do want to add quickly about that is that it's not going to personally affect Infinite quite significantly at all, because he only had 9% when he DC'd there on the May. But for on the other side of the coin, Pop-Tart was playing Moira and had around 60%. That's an instant restart there on the Coalescence. That's going to be quite tragic there for Konami Code when we come back into this map here. Yeah,
you're absolutely right. It was probably the best and the worst at the same time person to get DC'd. Moira's one of her biggest values, especially on a control map, is the fact that she gets her Coalescence first out of any ultimate in the game, and it can be enough to turn it. So that's a bad DC. But at the same time, I'm going to guess that Infinite would have swapped off May even if he hadn't DC'd here. I don't think he wanted to stay after seeing SWAT on there and getting the value that he did. I think he's going to want to either swap to a second hit scan or try to match him on this Pharah. So he will be okay probably with losing the ult charge there.
Indeed he will. Alright, so it seems like we've got Infinite back in alongside Pop-Tart. We should be ready to get going quite soon. We have to wait for the readies though, for both sides to make sure they're ready to go also. And there we go, one ready from the side of Silver Surfers, and now we just wait for Pop-Tarts to say the side of Chaos, for the side of Konami Code, I should say.
Yeah, they might be taking this time to figure out what to do now that they've lost two players, as we've having the same discussion we just had, if they want to, what they want to swap to, if they want to commit to the Moira May, or if they want to change things up. My guess is change things up, but In any case, it's a little bit unfortunate that they would DC at such a critical moment here. They have the ready up, so we're going to get back into it.
All right, here we go. Clock ticking down, and now it's going to be ticking up at that 5% in favor now of Silver Surfers. Barrage already built up by Swappies, and that's just the power of putting the far so early on. You get a poke at the enemy team there with the power boosted rockets. You only have a fast barrage just like that.
Yeah, Infinite's onto the Tracer. Not at all surprising he wanted to swap. Oh, a huge kill from J-Money onto the Pharah. I think it's probably going to be enough on its own. As Foss comes in with a kill on the Korean, and without any DPS, I don't think the damage just won't be there to take this back. Well, as I say that, Aiden, though, with the big Hammer of Justice, takes out 2. I forget that Reinhardt's Hammer was buffed a couple patches ago, and it does quite a lot of damage.
Indeed, they gave that man Major the force hammer. He's gonna do so much damage to those Sweens. However, Son's still kicking right now. He's being a DPS Ana. In fact, it seems like Silver Surfers want to commit a shatter just to take these supports out. Raz comes out on swap, and I don't think it'll be enough here. There's a shield blocking the high noon, but it still fights Chaotic. And oh my goodness, Konami Code on the back of a couple ults, specifically the high noon. They're gonna bring this one back, it seems.
Yeah, very nice play to bring it back there. It was looking close. Yeah, Aiden did look worthy of that hammer as he killed 2 towards the beginning. But very nice high noon, very nice play by Infinite. He never died. Crucially, that entire fight he was poking the back line, just slowly chipping down people until he was enough to get the kill, and it really paid off. A lot of ults though from Silver Surfers. Again, we're gonna hear a lot of voice lines soon. I would not be surprised if they led with either Thou's, Gravitic Flux, or with an early window to get them off of this high ground.
We're gonna do the high noon first instead. The Immortality gonna keep keeping up Korean there, looking for a sight line.
Okay.
Combo next, and I gotta say a miss. This seems like Thou misses the Flux.
No, that is an emotional Flux we just saw at Thou. He was angry from his former teammate Mayo, Iruk, and so he tries to solo ult. Unfortunately, he tries to solo ult an ulting Monkey who has a jump on a 2-second cooldown. That was a fool's errand from the beginning.
It seems like that fool's errand will pay off though in the end. Swappy's gonna have to commit the barrage to win that team fight. Silver Surfers back in control, and they're still in the lead now, 75%. However, the ults that had to be committed there are probably making Konami Code quite joyful. No ults basically on the board besides a window here, compared to the 4 ults ready to go inside of Konami.
Yeah, we're going to need to see some great defensive play out of Silver Surfers to hold it, as Konami definitely has the ultimate advantage. Foss goes in early with the slam and misses. Charge misses from Aiden in response. Oh, J-Money with the high noon. Damage boosted just dicks out a bubble, and Iruk in the backline, meanwhile, is just cleaving through everybody. Foss kills himself, but they don't even need Foss anymore. Iruk here with the amazing, what is this, a 4K? 3K? He just jumped in the back. 4K, no ultimate needed. All he needed was J-Money to open up space with the high noon from behind, and now you're caught between a Monkey and a Cowboy, and the Monkey wins there with the cleave damage in the backline. So, okay, wait a minute. Iruk, a little bit overextended there. I had to use bubble early. He jumps out to survive.
Iruk, yeah, he's I gotta say quickly that the Monkey and Cowboy combo is one that is quite terrifying here in Overwatch.
Oh yeah.
One of the most fearful themes in the world. However, Iruk almost oversteps himself once again, but it pays off. Aiden, he falls, and a big purple coming in. Swat gonna be the first victim of that purple. And just like that, Silver Surfers get about to back up, and they're in final teamfight territory at this very moment.
Yep, we need if Silver Surfers needs to win, they need a fatty shatty, because I think the way that Konami Code's playing this defense is pretty solid around this corner. We're gonna need a fatty shatty, maybe a pulse bomb from Korean, a nice flank play. We're gonna spectate Korean now to see if he can make anything happen. He's gonna touch point to trigger overtime. Oh, he does. Oh, it is a fatty shatty. It's perfect onto the pocketed McCree.
Absolutely disgusting play there coming out of Aiden. He knows his priority, he knows his target, he knows what's going to get him W, and he takes full advantage. Silver Surfers walking forward, the full front forward. He's probably getting nothing there. And if we go by Silver Surfers, they're going to take point 1 here on Ilios.
That was amazing. That's exactly what they needed. They needed the Earth Shatter from Aiden to hit both the pocket and McCree, and then again, crucially, Korean with the Tracer, he knows how to clean up. He made sure both of those ended up being kills. He also tracked down the monkey who was jumping out. That pesky Iruck on that monkey seems to get out just when he's at 20% HP every time, but not this time as Korea tracked him through the air, and with him dead, that just sealed the deal for point one.
And now we're going to have probably some massive swaps coming out either side. We are now going to be going back to the Sigma. I'm assuming this here was a pick that he is comfortable with. Oh, never mind. Let's go back to the Diva. I'm assuming he's probably predicting either a Widow or the Echo, which it seems like Infinite is going to be playing.
He looked at Echo, but no, they're going to go for okay, they're going for the basic brawl, death ball here. They're going to want to speed in. Unfortunately and surprisingly, Silver Surfers have opted for full dive, so they're not going to like what they see. Konami Code will when they see that this is full dive. We'll see if they can make it work.
It's going to be extremely difficult to run the dive here. There's not a lot of targets you can go on if you're Aiden. However, Swampy says, I don't care about that. He's going to fight J-Money, and damage is being pumped, and that's making the opening for the dive to become its form. SWAT finding 3 there, and Silver Surfers, even though there wasn't a lot of targets to dive, they find something. They fit the square peg into the circle hole, and they're going to take first control.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a crucial moment now if you're Konami Code. Do you stick to this or do you swap? You have one chance and it's now. You only have one chance to swap in time to get your ults before you get 100-0'd. And they do end up swapping to double bubble in order to, I guess, be more adaptive to the team fight that they're seeing, the team composition rather. Okay, monkeys are fighting on near the tree here. They're both going to use bubble, but it looks like Iruck didn't have the support that Aiden did, and so he falls early as J-Money was way too far back. His eyes were in the sky as it should be against Afara, so Iruck just didn't get the support they needed. SWAT gets a late kill onto Suns. That's brutal. Now they got to wait for their Ane to get back. And just like that, it's 40% and only one fight's really occurred here. And Iruck's only at 70% of his ult. Meanwhile, Aiden, he's got his Primal Rage. Oh, it's another huge pick onto J-Money. It's just the stagger show, and we're already 50% over to this point.
That's so upsetting if you are Konami Code. You now have, I mean, it's at 50% right now, but with J-Money walking back from spawn at this very moment, that's going to hit 60%. In a blink of an eye, Konami just, it seems like they just cannot get a footing with their comp. If you look right now, they got off the double bubble, they're going to be pretty fast on that Diva. They're just trying to find an answer, but it might, almost like Versus 6, it seems like it's going to be history repeating itself. Swap a massive 3K there on the back line.
Yeah, you had to know it was coming. You knew he had Barrage there, so you want to see Foss kind of around there to DM that, but I think he was busy elsewhere as they were sort of getting attacked from multiple angles, and suddenly we're in the last point, and this looks brutal. They've got, Silver Surfers has 4 ultimates, both tanks, both support. Only a high noon from J-Money. It's going to have to be the best high noon Overwatch has ever seen to turn this.
If there's anybody who could do it, Joltek, it is J-Money.
The overtime god.
Massive fighting for this game. SWAT does fight Infinite though, that's one down! Hainu comes out far back and he's looking for a body. It's just anything to take
he finds SWAT!
He one!
He's doing it!
There comes J-Money finding 3, the beast is unleashed! The dragon roars! But won't be enough? I don't think so. Korean will take him out. It's Silver Surfers! They take the series 3-2.
That's unbelievable. That was so... J-Money just almost did it for what seems like the 5th time. Somehow he managed to find 3 there at the end, and I think Konami Code could have stalled it. I believe they just couldn't get to point in time. It was so close there. What a series. Look at that play. That's on the ulted Mercy too. Unbelievable they could win this fight.
It's absolutely astonishing they could. I mean, that's just the type of plays you expect for a player like J-Money. I mean, we saw him on the Doomfist many times this series, and we see him on the McCree there. He pulls stuff like out constantly. However, I just gotta say, I feel like Konami Code were not expecting to be forced to play the game of Silver Surfers, who fantastically were able to push every team fight into their game, their ballpark with their forward comps, their dive comps, their Sigma rank comps, and force Konami Code to be on the back foot the entire time, basically. And because of that, I think that's why Silver Surfers, took it in the other day.
Yeah, that is a statement of a win there from Silver Surfers. I would have favored Konami Code for an Ilios map with the flexibility and the angles that you can take, the type of team comps, but I think it's fitting that the Silver Surfers they won on dive there at the end, and you would think at least historically back when it was Tater Tots and it was Blank Assassins, the grandfather of these teams, it would have been Blank Assassins that would come up on top on the more quick compositions. So it's good to see there. I mean, if you're Konami Code, you are very sad that there was a loss, but you know that this season is far from over. That was such a close game that that's a coin flip away from going your way there, on a couple of those maps. So I think you watch the tape, you figure out exactly where it went wrong, and you come back with a vengeance in a couple of weeks.
Most definitely, and I feel like that vengeance is guaranteed at this point. These two teams are looking so elite, and I would expect to see these guys either at a grand final or a winners final of any type this season. It feels like it's just guaranteed at this point. It looks like iRock thinks you deserve an MVP, Joltek. How do you feel about that?
I accept all three roles as I don't remember when I paused twice on accident. That's all behind me. Aiden MVP.
Tactical.
Right. I do like the Aiden. So I think the play that Aiden killed 2 with the hammer, he was body blocking at 2. He was showing off his Reinhardt tech. That Iruk typed LOL at the time at Ilios in that first point, so that was also a good play. I think we do get here to MVP calls. I'm not sure how it happens this season. Do we decide just ourselves? Is there like a voting system?
So how it works here is, because I know it's been quite a while since you've been here.
Mercy.
So to give you the updated format, we get MVP noms on both sides. Both teams nominate 2 picks of their choice of who they think MVP should be given to, and then after they give MVP noms, both Konami Code and Silver Surfers, we get to pick who we think MVP should be for DPS, tank, and support, and we can also give honorable mentions if needed.
Okay, sounds good. So now we're waiting for them to give noms. Dal says Eskimo MVP, as Zach played for exactly 8 minutes and 30 seconds in this game on map 1. So I don't think we can quite give it to Eskimo tonight. I already got a couple of candidates on all roles, but I think we'll have to wait to see till the nominations come in.
Indeed, we will have to wait. And it seems like these teams are thinking mighty hard about it, as we have not got a response from either side just yet.
Yeah, I mean, I think the good news is it didn't look like either team really had a weak link. Everyone had their moments that I saw. I maybe not have, maybe we always miss some things that happen in a game, and I apologize for that. If you that just played that made a big play that we missed, but we saw a lot of good stuff from both teams, so it's really just who had, a slightly better performance tonight. And yeah, I mean, if I had to call, oh man, the question is what role goes to Konami Code, because I remember it is 2 roles to the winning team, 1 role to the losing team.
It's actually changed. You can now give 3 MVPs to the winning team.
Okay. Well, I think it's fun to give at least 1 MVP to the losing team, especially with how close this game was.
Yeah, I was gonna say in this match especially, I think it has to. We have to definitely give Konami Code that shout out with the MVP. I think there was a lot of good. We're still waiting for noms here, but I do want to say that there are a lot of bodies or people, like I say, people you should say, that you could point your finger to on each role on Konami Code. I feel like iRock Frost, Infinite, Blockbreaker, Neon Boost, all did a phenomenal job. Sans too. All did a great job on their individual role. Yeah,
Sans Ana very good when it was in.
If you I think it's time to do the old Classico at the captains for typing.
Okay.
No. Got a iRock. Okay.
Can you nominate people from the other team?
Yes. So basically, what you do is you give nominations to the enemy team.
Oh, so, I see.
So Silver say a nomination on their side for for Konami Code, a Konami Code player, and a Konami Code do one for Silver Surfers.
So only one nomination per team for the enemy team, or
they can do two, but it seems like Chaotic wants to just stick to one. Which, if they want to, that's fine. They can stick to one.
Okay, and we fill in the gap.
Yes.
All right.
And that nomination is somebody gives us like basically it's for consideration for us if we like agree with that and like give it to them maybe potentially. That's basically what the nomination is for.
Well, I'm willing to accept IROC as an MVP for the side of Konami Code. His Winston was a menace, and he went toe-to-toe there on Reinhardt. So not too surprising. A little bit of favoritism, perhaps, as Silver Surfers nominate the former Silver Surfer as their MVP. So, yeah, like I said, not too surprised. But I think, again, there was a lot of other good plays coming out from Konami Code. Yeah, I mean, from everyone you mentioned, we had Infinite with the... I think the really good value on Pharah that we saw in several maps, and when he swapped the Tracer, it was getting a lot of good value in. We saw J Money in particular at somehow in overtime, especially on Doomfist. I think that man should just be playing Doomfist constantly until they. I think he should just play Doomfist till they make him swap off. It seems like every time he swapped to it, he would get 4 or 5 kills pretty instantly. So. Suns with the Ana, especially on Numbani. I remember a lot of good purples and sleeps.
Yeah, I hate to interrupt quickly, but we do have the MVP noms from the side of Konami Code, which will be it will be Reinhardt and Chaotic Death. Reinhardt
and Chaotic. Okay, yeah, we didn't really talk much about Chaotic. She was blue beaming SWAT a lot, and that's her. It does work. She's a very good Mercy. She had. I'm sure. I mean, I wasn't particularly watching very often, but her mechanics on Mercy are typically on point. I think she also played Lucio a couple times. You correct me if I'm wrong. I can't.
I think she did on. If I'm correct, she did on map 3.
Map 3. Okay. Hanamura. Yeah, I think she did. But yeah, she's very consistent. I've never seen her not play well on her role. So she's a good backbone for the team. That's always a good vote. Reinhardt is Adhar. Now, the tricky thing here is because Adhar and Aiden are... I'm trying to separate their performance. They both had a really good performance, so I'm trying to remember particularly plays that were from the Adhar Reinhardt, not the Aiden Reinhardt. They were both excellent.
Indeed, they both were. But now with those given, we can now start with the MVP nominations, and you seem pretty comfortable with IROC. Is there I personally don't have any objections to it, unless you have another tank nom you're thinking of.
Not in particular. Like I said, it's a little unfortunate. He did get MVP last week, and then again, but he did play very well. And if it's not going to be, if it's only one DPS, yeah. Oh man, J Money played so well though. This is tough. I love seeing those J Money overtime plays, but yeah, I'm comfortable with it being IROC. They nominated him, and he played well enough to deserve it, I think.
Okay. So moving on now to DPS. Like you said, there was a lot of options to do for DPS. We had like J Money. We also had like a lot. My personal thought for DPS would be Swap Beast. I feel like he was a very dominant force when it came on to playing that McCree, that hits game role, but he also played that Pharah, so maybe we usually don't see from him, and he did extremely well in that role. I want to hear what you have to say, Joltik, about what you believe DPS MVP. Yeah,
he did play very well consistently on the McCree on the Pharah, so it would definitely be deserved if he got it. He does end up always taking a lot of attention, even if he's not fragging out. There's typically a couple people on him making sure he's not going wild. So, yeah, I agree that's a good pick.
All right then. Okay, so Jolt. I almost said Joltik. Yeah, yes, you are the MVP.
I will take it. As I said.
Swap Beast coming in for the DPS. Now for support, actually a ton to think about. We had people like Polish being absolutely fantastic, and we have some players like Nano Boost. Now, but I want to hear what you think you should be for support MVP.
Oh man, This one's rough. Again, I liked both Anna plays, so I liked Polish's Anna a lot. I think back in particular to a couple of good sleep darts and a really well placed nade on the overtime push on Numbani that I really think. Korean ended up getting the kill there, but I think it was that nade that really enabled that push to work. And it's hard nade to find when you're against a team with a bubble and a defense matrix. You have to go up on that left side. So my mind says Polish, but I'm open to other suggestions.
You know what? I'm gonna have to agree 100% with that for Polish. I feel like Polish had a very standout performance on the Honor tonight, especially the fact that a lot of people it's not Rock's role that a lot of people don't know him by. A lot of people know him for that DPS, but when he came out on that support, he looked absolutely fierce. So I think I'm gonna have to agree completely when it comes to Polish.
Yeah, he's very flexible, which is very helpful for the team that he's on. So great. Okay, so we have iRock on tank for Konami code. We got Swap Beast for DPS. Silver servers, and then Polish on support for the silver servers.
Yep, indeed. Those are solidified, and those are complete.
Oh, do you want an honorable mention real quick? Oh, if we got to give an honorable mention, I vote J Money. I'm going to push hard for him.
Oh, yes, easily J Money. I have to agree. He was a force to be reckoned with, especially on the Doomfist, a role that a lot of people don't really think of J Money. They usually think of like the McCree or Ash, but that Doomfist run was actually ecstatically good here tonight. So yes, I'm gonna have to agree with that honorable mention with J Money.
Excellent. Okay, well, really fun game. I think again, this really opened up the league in terms of the competitiveness. What we're going to see moving forward. I think I'm really looking forward to this rematch, and I think there's a lot of good tape to look back on for both of these teams and the other teams in the league. I think they can learn a lot about how these teams play, and I think it's going to be real fun to see how next week goes.
Indeed, I think it is. I also believe that this game is definitely going to shows the standards to a lot of the other teams like NAO Management and Hot Pocket about where they need to step up if they want to even have a chance at competing for the Champion Cup.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, so that will be it for today. For today's Tier 1 tournament, Week 3, Silver Surfers versus Konami Code. I was one of your commentators, Tempo.
And I was Joltek.
And thank you all for watching. I hope you all have a phenomenal night.
Bye, everybody.